Pedro Martinez is 7-3 with the Mets, 22-11 with New York since leaving Boston after the 2004 Championship Series. He won his first 5 starts this season, the 3rd time in his career he has done that. And he's going to try to get a win tonight as he goes up against Josh Beckett. Beckett at 9-3 has won 2 straight. We'll tell you a little more about it right after this.
Olympia Sports is your Majestic headquarters. Show your team spirit with your Majestic replica jerseys and authentic name and number teams. Choose your favorite player and get in the game. Get it at Olympia Sports. Shop with confidence. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Back in a ton of stuff for a 3-day weekend at my uncle's beach house. Plenty of room, plenty of room, plenty of room.
Enjoy the refreshing pick-me-up of a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee and pack a ton of stuff for your uncle's beach house. America runs on Dunkin'. Stop by Dunkin' Donuts today and try one of 9 delicious coffee flavors.
It takes teammates to win, and sometimes just to survive.
Together we can stop the hating and the violence.
Listen to each other, respect each other, and trust.
Teamwork always wins.
Together, stop the violence.
Peace.
It's your world, it's your life, it's your freedom that drives you. Subaru.
Feel the freedom during New England Subaru dealers' all-wheel drive summer sales event. Buy a brand new all-wheel drive 7-passenger Subaru B9 Tribeca with the government's highest possible 5-star safety rating and get $2,500 cash back plus 0% financing.
Subaru, feel the freedom, Subaru.
Sullivan Tire keys to the game. Josh Beckett, by the way, has won a couple in a row and has 9 wins on the season, trying to keep that momentum going. And Red Sox hitters take a page out of the New York Yankees book from 2000 to 2004. Just get that pitch count up as high and as quickly as you can.
Oh, I think that's huge right there. Be patient because, you know, this is not Pedro that just comes right at you with 95. You know, the guy on the other side of the mound is the guy with the 95. So, you know, you're not going to see the same Pedro. He's got that great changeup, but you have to throw your changeup off of your fastball. So I see him trying to spot the fastball a lot.
You heard Jerry Remy talk about it. He's Mr. Game Face. He's all about the intensity, but we've seen him laughing, joking. At some point, David Ortiz or Manny Ramirez is going to get him to laugh at some point. This has got to be very strange for Pedro tonight.
Yeah, it is. And I think he will be a little lighter than he would normally be. I can't imagine him not being, you know, but he's got to be focused because he doesn't throw the ball like he did maybe 2-3 years ago. But you'll see him, you know, fun and games all you want. He loves to throw the ball. He fires balls inside. He never really tries to get guys out with a fastball in. A fastball to him inside means like, see that fastball in there, right? You know, chest high in there, and he'll throw a couple of those once, you know, a couple times a game. Obviously, he's got a very good bullpen behind him too, best in baseball right now. So he's looking to get his 6 innings and get out of town. Yeah, you're not going to see him go 9 innings. I mean, he hasn't had any run support. I mean, he'd have a much better year right now if he had run support. Like Glavine has gotten more support than he has. But, you know, I'm just fascinated by watching him. I just want to see, you know, what he brings out there. He has more flair than any pitcher I've ever seen. You talk about charisma. You talk about a guy who changed this team not just because of his 117 wins, and he's changing the Mets. I mean, he's gone down there and has started a renaissance in New York as well. He really has, and you know, maybe this is just the beginning. This will be the first time we see him, and the next time we see him will be in the World Series, and that'll be a beautiful thing. How about that? And meantime, Josh Beckett, we keep talking about this guy, and I've heard this phrase thrown around a lot with Josh Beckett. He'll win a Cy Young someday. I mean, his stuff is that good, and we forget that as we get ready for Pedro, that Josh Beckett is only 26 years old. He just turned 26. Well, you know, he has the potential. I mean, you're talking about major league stuff. I mean, everybody says this guy's got as good a stuff as anybody. And if you're playing for the Boston Red Sox, you got a better chance of winning the Cy Young Award than you do playing for a lot of lousy teams. So yes, he has a good chance of winning the Cy Young. Well, he's got a chance to get his 10th win, and he's got a chance to steal the show because, as always, Pedro Martinez is the show. We've all been waiting for this one. It's Pedro against the Red Sox. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy have the call from Fenway Park right now.
Last night, Pedro Martinez made his return to Boston, and the Fenway fans showed their appreciation for his 7-year Red Sox career, a career filled with riveting moments and images. The cheers have continued tonight for Pedro Martinez, who made his way to the bullpen to face his former teammates. It's the Red Sox and Mets in Game 2 of the series. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox Baseball, and welcome to a great night here tonight at Fenway Park, the return of Pedro Martinez. And, Jerry, it's got to be very strange for Pedro.
It has to be, Don. You know, first of all, Pedro makes his way out to the bullpen and gets a standing ovation for the fans. And, you know, he's getting the love and respect that he always called for here at Fenway Park. Now, it's got to be very strange for him to face the Boston Red Sox because he's not that far removed from a lot of the guys on this team. These are a lot of the same guys he went to battle with for the World Championship. You know, think of him facing David Ortiz tonight, Manny Ramirez, two very close friends. Somehow, though, I think he'll find a way because when he gets out to that mound, he's a fierce competitor. Now, what Pedro are we going to see? Certainly not the one that throws 96 and 97. I think those days are pretty much over for him, but you can count on one thing. He's a very smart pitcher, still is, always has been. He's going to have the excellent changeup, go on the cutter. He'll try to do whatever it takes to win this ball game at Fenway Park tonight.
And what a pitching matchup we have. Josh Beckett against Pedro Martinez.
Omni Comics and Cards is your headquarters for officially licensed Yankees and Red Sox clothing and gifts. East Hartford, Bristol, and Wethersfield.
Hi, I'm Carl, the mayor of Tire City, and I'm here to inform you that hope is on the way. I'm declaring war on high prices, bad service, and long waiting times. Bring down any quote on any tire or any wheel, and we will promptly beat it with a much better selection, much better guarantee, and much better service. Tire City, reporting for duty, 306 Silver Lane, East Hartford. There you go.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Be careful, because even getting close to a power line is nuts. Connecticut Light and Power, energy for a changing world. Please use it carefully.
Stop. Can't touch this.
Create the kitchen you want with the Electrolux Icon Professional Series. It's the only wall oven with smooth glide racks that fully extend, and gas cooktops with both power and precision burners. Electrolux Icon Professional Series, designed for the well-lived home.
Electrolux, available at New England Appliance, Route 44, Canton, Connecticut.
People, when they find out what I do for a living, they say, so, you know, you brew beer? And I'm like, yeah, and we taste every day. And they always just say, oh, you must absolutely love your job. How do I get to be a Samuel Adams taster? Yeah, it's just one of the perks of the job.
Closed captioning sponsored by Finagle a Bagel, Boston's only boiled and baked bagel company with 20 cafes throughout eastern Massachusetts. Red Sox Baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, your Boston area Lexus dealers, Foxwoods Resort Casino, your Lincoln Mercury dealers, Dell Computer, your New England Ford dealers, and by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. And welcome to cloud cover at Fenway Park as the Red Sox and Mets get ready for game 2 of this 3-game series. The Red Sox rolling right now, a 10-game winning streak. Let's check out the Mets visiting lineup. Their lineup is brought to you by Rico. Jose Reyes leading it off at shortstop with Paul LaDuca, the designated hitter. Carlos Beltran in center field. Carlos Delgado at first base. David Wright at third base. Jose Valentin in there at second base tonight. Endy Chavez in right field. Ramon Castro does the catching. He bats 8th. And Lastings Millage in left field bats 9th. On the mound tonight for Boston is Josh Beckett.
Josh Beckett tries to become the first Red Sox pitcher with 10 wins on the season. 9-3 coming into the game. Look at the opponent's batting average against only .230. A 2-game win streak and a very strong outing last time against Philadelphia. 8 innings in that game. Only a couple of earned runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. I think that was the best start he's had in a Red Sox uniform. And against the Mets, in 12 starts, a 5-2 record with a 2.51 ERA. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by your Boston area Lexus dealers. They're first in the league with only 23 errors on the season. Mike Lowe will be at third base. Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop. Mark Loretta at second. And Kevin Youkilis at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Coco Crisp, and Trot Nixon. And Jason Veritek doing the catching for Josh Beckett.
The umpiring crew has Marty Foster behind the plate, fielding Culbreth at first base, Bill Welke at second base, and Tim McClellan, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, here we go as Josh Beckett throwing his final warm-up tosses, and Jerry, as I guess we anticipated again tonight after the warm reception that Pedro Martinez got last night, much the same tonight as he made his way out to the bullpen.
Yeah, it's become a love fest here at Fenway Park for Pedro Martinez. We didn't know what to expect. We got an indication, very strong indication last night, and even on the night he's pitching, the same thing has happened to Pedro every time he's popped his head out of the dugout.
There's the game face. We did not see that as he was headed out towards the bullpen. That's the face we're used to seeing, as it is back now. Once that he is warmed up out there, and of course the introductions, they went through the lineups and the large roar here at Fenway Park. Josh Beckett ready to work as Jose Reyes stands in. A lot of those type signs throughout the ballpark tonight. And the first pitch of this one is swing and a miss. Reyes, the shortstop for the Mets. It's a .297, 8 homers and 36 runs batted in. He got banged up pretty good last night in a collision at the plate with Jason Veritek. He was able to stay in the game. Looked like he took the brunt of it off Jason's knee and shin guard in the chest area around the shoulder. But Veritek able to hold on to the baseball. The great throw for Manny Ramirez, and he was gunned down at the plate. The center field sending Coco Crisp over a few steps. 1 down. Well, surprising he was able to continue after taking this kind of hit and was down for a while. What a great throw by Manny Ramirez. Jason Veritek, who protects the plate so well, did it again. Reyes was down for a good long time. The trainer's checking on him, but he stayed in the game last night and back in there again tonight.
One thing the Red Sox were able to do to Reyes last night is cool off one of the hottest hitters in the National League. They stopped his 13-game hitting streak. He went 0 for 5 in that ball game last night.
Only hit at .561 during that 13-game hitting streak.
Yeah, that's all.
So it was fairly productive. John Lester kind of gutted his way through last night's outing. Grabbing his 3rd win without a loss. A huge strikeout in his last batter that he faced. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Terry Francona was talking about the outing last night for John Lester and how he feels that as part of his development, he's going to have to get through outings like he did last night, and he came through it with flying colors.
Now, there's certain times in every game you're going to have to get out of jams, and certainly he did last night on 2 different occasions.
Paul LaDuca, the designated hitter, with a count of 2-1. Had a couple of hits here last night, a 2 for 5 showing in the first game of the series. Popped up. Right side of the infield. Youkilis making his way to the infield grass. 2 down.
Right now, Josh Beckett here in the first inning has a very, very good fastball. 96-97 with his fastball in this early stage of the ball game. Result, a fly ball out and a pop out.
Similar to his start against the Philadelphia Phillies, except he was able to extend that dominance to the first 16 batters of the game that he faced. And for David Bell and his perfection bid with a base hit. On the ground from Beltran to second base. Loretta throws him out. And it's a 1-2-3 first inning. And we will keep it right here at Fenway Park. Beckett throwing just 7 pitches in the first for the 1-2-3 inning as Pedro Martinez momentarily be making his way to the mound. And we will keep it right here at Fenway Park as he does.
If you're smart enough to want a Volkswagen, there are quite a few places you can get one. But at Montesi, we've been selling only Volkswagen since before the Beatles came to America. And we've made our one location the easiest place to buy and service a Volkswagen anywhere. You'll find more parking spots to welcome you and expanded service hours that work around your schedule. And we believe since we keep these people happy, they'll keep you happy. It's no wonder we're the dealer of choice.
You've seen how they play.
There we go. Oh, big puppy.
Now see how they live.
What's up, y'all? This is David Ortiz.
With AT&T Home Turf. Visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
Omni Comics and Cards is your headquarters for officially licensed Yankees and Red Sox clothing and gifts. East Hartford, Bristol, and Wethersfield.
Well, Pedro's friends that came in have been waiting for his arrival, and they're ready to go. We are heading to the bottom of the first inning. And the Red Sox lineup is brought to you by New England Dodge dealers. Kevin Youkilis leading it off at first base. Mark Loretta at second base. David Ortiz, the DH. Manny Ramirez in left. Trot Nixon in right. Jason Varitek doing the catching. Mike Lowell at third base bats seventh with Coco Crisp in center field batting eighth. And Alex Gonzalez at shortstop bats ninth. On the mound tonight for the New York Mets is Pedro Martinez.
7-3 for Martinez on the season. The 3.01 ERA, seventh best in the league. He's 110 strikeouts, second best in the National League. And the 190 batting average, the best in the National League. See the career games at Fenway Park, 58-18 with a 2.67 ERA in 95 games here at Fenway.
Youkilis takes strike one from Martinez. Youkilis starting the night at .313. 9 homers, 37 runs batted in. Lines it into center field, a base hit. Youkilis starts it off with a ringing single to center.
Pedro's thrown 2 pitches. The fastball that was 85. This is the cut fastball for Martinez, and Youkilis right back up the middle with the base hit. Youkilis has now hit in 11 of his last 12 games.
Now Mark Loretta. It's at .318, 2 homers and 32 runs batted in. Loretta with a 10-game hitting streak, 20 for 44, hitting at .455. And what has been a great stretch for the Red Sox second baseman. And coinciding with a 10-game winning streak for the Red Sox coming into tonight's action. Now, this is a start that Pedro Martinez made clear the other day in his press conference that he would rather have not made, if at all avoidable, because of his relationship with so many of the Red Sox and his former teammates, that if they could move him and not pitch here at Fenway Park, it'd be all right with him. But here he is in game 2 of the series. And it fouls it off, and it's 2-1.
The Mets defense is brought to you by New England Ford dealers. They're 9th in the National League with 52 errors in 76 games. David Wright at third base. Jose Reyes, the shortstop. Jose Valentin tonight at second base, and Carlos Delgado at first. Mildredge, Beltran, and Chavez in the outfield, and Ramon Castro doing the catching for Pedro Martinez.
Youkilis at first base. The 2-1 to Loretta. Line to the opposite field, in for a base hit. An 11-game hitting streak for Loretta as Youkilis up to second base.
Well, once again, Loretta using that opposite field, gets the 88-mile-an-hour fastball from Martinez and shoots it to right field for the base hit. Andy Chavez put a pretty good charge on it. That's going to hold Youkilis at second base.
First and second, nobody out, last of the first inning. David Ortiz at .267, 22 homers and 68 runs batted in. And as we said, Jerry, it's got to be very strange for Pedro Martinez, but it doesn't get any more strange than this as he faces Big Papi. And David takes ball 1.
Cut fastball. So far, Pedro has not thrown one pitch over 90 miles an hour.
There's a strike, evens up at 1-1. The key matchup is brought to you by Honda. 3 for 15 in his career against Pedro Martinez with a home run. He's a member of the Minnesota Twins. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
And that's the Martinez changeup, one of the best changeups in the game of baseball. And I've always said, you know, Don, when he was here with the Red Sox, he could walk to home plate, tell the hitter, I'm going to throw you a changeup, and he still couldn't hit it.
Youkilis at second, Loretta at first, nobody out, last of the first inning. Martinez, a winner against the Cincinnati Reds last time out, 6 innings, giving up 2 hits and 2 runs. Back to Martinez. Pedro looked to third and now only has 1 play. It's at first. He looked to third, then to second, and by that time all he could do is get Ortiz and 2 move into scoring position.
Well, if there's anything that tells you that Pedro Martinez's head is not where it's supposed to be here at Fenway Park, this is it. I mean, this is a 1-6-3 double play. He forgot the positioning. He looked toward third base, and of course they had the shift on Ortiz. I mean, that's automatic. It's pitch to second base to first base for the double play. So, you know, there's a great example that all the stuff surrounding Pedro has had an effect on him. There's no question about it. And that's a huge break for the Red Sox. They got second and third now with 1 out instead of 2 outs and a man on third.
1 down, second and third for Manny. Ramirez starting the night up over 300 at .302, 20 homers and 53 runs batted in. Fouled off to the right, and it's a ball and a strike to Ramirez. Against Pedro Martinez, just 4 for 29, 13 strikeouts for Pedro against Manning. One. 2-1.
That's the best fastball he's thrown today at 91. Tried to go upstairs to get Manny Ramirez to chase it. Strikeout high this season for Martinez, 11. He's done it one time. He's had a couple of 10 strikeout games.
Outside, 3-1 to Manny. First base is open. Trot Nixon waiting on deck. Trot has been hot, starting the night 6th in the American League in batting average at .329. Youkilis at third, Loretta at second, one down. Ball 4, and he walks in. Down to first base goes Ramirez to load the bases.
I think the catcher there, Ramon Castro, reminding Pedro, you've got men at every base now. The bases are loaded.
There's Trot with that hefty batting average of .329, 6 homers and 40 runs batted in. And Nixon takes strike one.
Looked like maybe a cross up there between Castro and Martinez. The meeting after that pitch. Like a sinking fastball from Pedro, and it almost looked like Castro, the catcher, was looking for something other than that.
The 0-1 pitch to Trot Nixon. Fly ball center field. Carlos Beltran's got a beat on it. He extends to the base of the track, putting deep enough for Youkilis to tag and score the Red Sox first run of the night. On to third goes Mark Loretta. It's a 1-0 Boston lead.
Well, Pedro certainly knows that Trot Nixon's a very good fastball hitter, so he goes to the changeup, but the changeup stayed up in the zone. And a good pitch for Trot Nixon to get in the air for the fly ball and get the run home. And the changeup stays upstairs. It does get the hitter a little bit off balance, but still you have a chance because it is up about belt high, and that time Nixon did have a chance to get it in the air.
So first and third now, 2 down here in the first inning. And Jason Varitek takes ball 1. Varitek at .250, 7 homers and 36 runs batted in. Is there any semblance of an advantage here for a guy like Jason Varitek, who's caught Pedro Martinez?
No, I don't think so at all.
In there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
I mean, they all know what Pedro throws. There's no question about that. But the way Varitek and Martinez set up hitters is certainly different than what Castro and Martinez is going to try to do to Varitek.
Runs it outside. Varitek doesn't chase. Mark Loretta at third base. Manny Ramirez at first base. 2 down, a run in. Foul ball, 2-2. Varitek had the 2-run single in the bottom of the first inning last night. It's part of the Red Sox 9-4 win over the Mets. Breaking ball, back up the middle and into center field. A base hit for Veritek. From third comes Loretta, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
Pedro has not made good pitches here in the first inning. That's a curveball again that stays up in the zone. It was a changeup to Nixon that stayed up, and here's a breaking ball that stays up. He got it away from him, but not low enough. And Veritek up the middle for the base hit.
First and second with 2 down for Mike Lowell. 7th man to bat here in the bottom of the first for Boston. Lowell at .311, 9 homers and 40 runs batted in. Pedro Martinez, the first pitch ball to 5 of 7 hitters tonight, so starting off behind quite a bit. Mike Lowell has hit safely in 4 straight games coming into tonight's action. Had a couple of hits here last night in the first game of the series, including his 9th home run of the season. Lowell now 2 home runs on the homestand. He had one against the Phillies over the weekend. Too far outside that time. 2-1 to Lowell. Next pitch will be the 25th of the inning for Pedro Martinez. In the air to left field. Lastings Millage, who had an adventure last night, makes his way back to the wall again and can't catch it again. Ramirez scores. Veritek behind him. It's a 4-0 Boston lead, and Lastings Millage hates Fenway Park.
He is having all kind of problems out there in left field in the first 2 games of this series. I mean, that's a fairly routine fly ball that gets a bit of a push from the breeze, but yet you can see him backpedaling toward the wall. I mean, he tried to time that thing by backpedaling, and it ends up popping right out of the glove. So he has not looked very good at all in left field here in this series.
So instead of it being 2-0, it's 4-0. And here's Coco Crisp. This was his problem last night on the fly ball for Manny Ramirez that he got all turned around on, and concerns about the wind, and tonight more problems for Lastings Millage.
Millage had not had an error coming into last night's game, and he's got 2 quick ones in this series, and that one really hurt. The one last night really hurt.
Coco Crisp grounding at Valentin at second base. Throws him out to end the inning. Damage done. 4-0 Boston lead after 1.
Celebrate your financial independence at your Chrysler dealer with 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,000 cash allowance. Plus, make no monthly payments until 2007. Save on Pacifica with a 5-star government frontal crash test rating. And recipient of J.D. Power & Associates highest ranked van in initial quality award, Chrysler Town & Country with Stow & Go. Now current owners get an additional $750 loyalty cash allowance on Chrysler Town & Country. Plus, make no monthly payments until 2007. Offer ends June 30th.
Shark-infested waters, a team of scientists and one brave volunteer are about to find the answer to an important question. Is Diet Mountain Dew as much of a thrill as regular Dew? The results were clear. Diet Mountain Dew is all the dew with none of the calories.
Subway Dinner Theater presents The Beast Within. stomach studded in London. And now for dinner, Subway restaurants.
And the new Tuscan chicken, hot and fresh from the oven. Tender chicken, melted cheese, grilled vegetables on freshly baked bread.
Subway, eat fresh.
Here's a reason to smile. Aspen Dental Summer Smile Sale. Right now, get no down payment, no interest, and no payments for 6 months on any dental or denture service. It's easy to get the smile you've always wanted during Aspen Dental Summer Smile Sale. Aspen Dental. Smile. No payments for 6 months for a limited time at all Aspen Dental locations.
Back at Fenway Park, where Pedro Martinez has had a very rough first inning, and talking to the rookie as he got back into the dugout and letting Lastings Millage know that it's all right, as it cost him 2 runs in the inning. And Millage beating himself up pretty good. There's Delgado to begin things here in the second inning.
Guy with the best spot in this ball game tonight is Josh Beckett. I mean, all the attention's been paid to Pedro Martinez, obviously, since he walked in town, and Beckett very quietly going about his business for the last couple of days and staked to a 4-run lead.
A strike to Delgado, and it's a ball and a strike. One of the biggest differences for the Mets this season. You're looking at him. 21 home runs, 54 RBIs for Carlos Delgado. He spent last year as a member of the Florida Marlins. Delgado, Wright, and Valentin to bat here in the second inning for New York. Swing and a miss. Delgado goes chasing. A little home run here last night off John Lester.
Again, a good live fastball from Beckett away from Delgado. What's these guys' teammates down with the Marlins?
He's never faced Josh Beckett. Fouled off to the left, and it hangs at 2-2. Shift on here for the Red Sox with Mark Loretta in short right field. A couple of former Marlins going head to head. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Beckett gets the better of it and gets his first strikeout of the night. It's Carlos Delgado, 1 away in the second.
I'm going to tell you, one major improvement we've seen over the last couple of starts for Josh Beckett has been his changeup. Now, remember early in the season, actually up to the last start, his changeup was registering at 88, 89 miles an hour. The last couple of starts, it's been 85, 86, and believe me, that's a huge difference.
And the numbers in the last 3 starts for Josh Beckett, again retired the first 16 that he faced last time out against the Phillies. There is David Wright. A hefty .332 batting average, 18 homers and 64 runs batted in. He's driven in 14 runs in his last 9 games. And it's a hard ground ball that's picked by Gonzalez. Little spin, and he's out by a lot. Gonzalez continues to be spectacular at shortstop, and there's 2 down.
Again, this time the ball hit very hard by Wright, but Gonzalez ranging to his left up the middle, and he makes it look easy. It's a pretty nice hop for an infielder right up into that glove, spins around, and the accurate throw to Youkilis for the out.
Fielding percentage at .996 with just 1 error on the season. 2 down, 5 in a row. Retired by Josh Beckett to begin the night. Here's Jose Valentin, former Chicago White Sox infielder who makes his first appearance of this series. Valentin has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games. And had a home run for the Mets over the weekend. Toronto's Taubenheim. As Valentin now 7 home runs on the season. Strike 2, and it's 1-2 to Valentin. Andy Chavez waiting on deck. The 1-2 struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Beckett has retired the first 6. 4-0 Boston. Time for a Sports Desk update with Hazel May.
Don, thank you. Hi, everybody. It's NBA draft night, but the Celtics are dealing, not picking. League sources confirming the C's have traded the 7th overall pick, Rafe LaFrentz and Dan Dickau, to the Portland Trail Blazers for point guard Sebastian Telfair and Theo Ratliff. We'll have complete coverage on this story tonight on Sports Desk, presented by FW Web, distributor of plumbing and heating supplies since 1866. Let's take you now to a break and be back at Fenway after this short timeout.
It has a legendary reputation for reliability, durability, and quality. It's been named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list 20 times. It was the first gasoline-powered production automobile to be certified as a low-emission vehicle in the U.S. And the best part is, it's used. Proof that how you start out in life is a good indication of how far you'll go. Honda certified used cars. See, it may be used, but it's still a Honda.
Free is fantastic, right? Like free coffee or free parking. But free checking? Usually you have to buy checks and keep minimum balances. At Sovereign Bank, free means free. And with our free interest checking, use any bank's ATMs free. You also get free checks, unlimited check writing, and free online banking with Bill Pay. It even pays interest.
So you won't just save money, you'll make it.
It's here and it's big. The Ford Model Year Clearance. Escape, freestyle, explore, and expedition, taking you beyond expectations. Now drive on us with 0% financing plus we'll pay for your gas until 2007. That's 0% financing plus we pay for your gas. Now during the Ford Model Year Clearance.
4-0. The Red Sox on top as we head to the Boston half of the second inning. And Alex Gonzalez leads it off for the Red Sox. Pedro Martinez given up 4 runs in the first inning. In his first 15 starts, 5 first inning runs. Tonight, 4 of them, 2 of them are earned. As Gonzalez sends it softly to Reyes at shortstop. There's 1 away in the second.
The new Red Sox instant ticket is now on sale at Fenway Park, and it's your local lottery agent. You have a chance to win over $150 million in cash prizes, including 10 $1 million prizes, season tickets for life, single game Red Sox tickets, and VIP tours at Fenway Park. The Mass State Lottery, you have to play, and please play responsibly.
1 down for Kevin Youkilis, who singled into center field his first time up. Terry, again, we want to send our best wishes along to Peter Gammons and his family. We mentioned it, of course, last night, and in between innings here, they had a picture of Peter up on the scoreboard wishing him well and a speedy recovery, and of course the great reception here from the Fenway faithful.
Yeah, from what we understand, of course, Peter going through hours of surgery yesterday, and his condition is good today, which is great news. And this was the tribute on the Centerville scoreboard between innings. A nice loud ovation from the crowd here at Fenway. So certainly our prayers are with Peter and Gloria. Get well soon.
He's at Brighams and Women's right now, and wish him well. 2-2 the count to Kevin Youkilis. Some grounded foul. See if Martinez can find his bearings here in the second inning. That First inning appeared to be pretty traumatic.
Yeah, he looked truly uncomfortable in the first inning. Not much velocity, left a couple of pitches up, the change up, the breaking ball, messed up the double play possibility.
Fly ball to left center field. Late break for Beltran, and he'll have to make a diving catch. He thought Millage was going to take it, but Millage wants no part of anything right now in left field, so Beltran had to go into the dive to make the catch.
Now, Carlos Beltran, a very good center fielder, but that's a play he should not have had to make. I mean, this is a ball that Lasting Millage should have called for and made an easy play on, but you're right. Looks like he's shying away from the baseball now, and that's what happens when you have a tough time.
Right now, if you're a Red Sox player, you might want to think about sending one in the air to Lasting's Millage. Because right now, there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to do it. So 2 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Mark Loretta. Loretta with a single in the first inning came around to score the Red Sox second run. Martinez quickly ahead 0-2. Pedro coming in with a 7-3 record, 3.01 earned run average. Inside, and it gets Loretta. All aside, the trainer and Terry Francona check on Loretta as he is hit with the pitch with 2 down.
And that was designed to go inside with 2 strikes against Loretta. The fastball up and in from Martinez, and looks like gets Loretta right on the hand. And that's a number we've seen played many times from Pedro Martinez, especially when he's struggling.
Loretta staying in the game here at first base with 2 down. It brings up Big Papi. Grounded back to the mound in the first inning. The ball that was picked by Pedro Martinez, but couldn't figure out where he was going to throw it, and ended up only getting 1 out. And this time the shift on. Valentin throws to first to retire Ortiz and to end the inning. Done with 2, 4-0 Boston.
Chip.
Foxwoods, the wonder of it all.
Let's go for a ride. Feel the sunshine. Let's go for a ride. It's summertime.
Toyota's summer sales event is on. So ride off with a great deal on a durable Tundra. Right now, you can save with $1,500 cash back on any Tundra full-size truck, and that includes Tundra Double Cab. $1,500 cash back. Or check out the extraordinarily styled FJ Cruiser. Don't miss your chance to save. Toyota's summer sales event ends soon. Toyota, moving forward.
When I won the Connecticut Lottery's Win for Life game, it dawned on me. The longer I live, the more money I'll get. Hence the protective armor. Already it's come in handy. $5,000 a month for the rest of my life. And I'm not taking any chances.
Win for life. The longer you live, the more money you get.
The
satellite-linked Acura MDX with Zagat guide ratings.
This looks good.
Bon appetit.
For limited time, take advantage of 2.9% financing on all 2006 Acura models.
Now is the time to sign up for the 2007 Red Sox Fantasy Camp for adults 30 and over. The week-long camps are a great winter escape in the Florida sun. You'll play with and against the heroes of your youth. The camps consistently sell out, so call now while spaces remain. 877 Red Sox 9. Well, we have a little bit of a different thing here tonight, and we welcome in Ron Darling. Ron, great to have you with us.
Well, it's nice to be here, Don. It's a dream come true being on NESN. It's great for a kid from Worcester.
Well, he joins us here for the third inning as Jerry heads over to Mets TV. And this has got to be pretty weird for you, as you mentioned, coming back. I know you grew up in Millbury, Mass. So you still have family there?
Yeah, my parents still live there, and I'm sure they're watching the game on their flat screen HD TV. Never leave the house now when the Red Sox are on.
Well, of course, all NESN games in HD. This one is fouled off. Andy Chavez sending it back, and it's 1-1. Jerry is over with Keith Hernandez and Gary Cohen. How are you enjoying doing this analyzing now?
Well, I love it. Gary Cohen is such a pro, and Keith and I have known each other for so long. You see them laughing already. That's what we do for 2.5 hours. Doesn't get any better than that.
There's the 1-1 to Chavez. It misses 2-1. Your thoughts on Pedro Martinez? It seemed like the first inning was a little bit of a whirlwind for him tonight.
You know, he's really been in a rut his last 4 or 5 starts, and one of the reasons he's not been able to locate his cutter, a pitch that he has employed the last couple of years, and I think that's the reason that he's had some bad times of late. But you know, he's the kind of guy that can rebound, but he might have to rebound against Beckett.
Down the left field line and bending foul back into the seats. You know, you look at his record coming in at 7-3, but it seems like his record could be a lot better than that.
Yeah, he pitched some games, a lot of his no decisions. They should have won those ball games. Billy Wagner blew a couple of those wins, but you know, Pedro's Pedro. He'll make an adjustment here or there. Millage, of course, is continuing to find that he'll never play here at Fenway Park. He'll never sign with the Red Sox if he's ever a free agent, because he's struggling in left field.
Strike 3 call, and Beckett's really got it going on tonight. That strikeout number 3. He's retired the first 7 in a row.
What's great about Beckett, Don, is that he just has 3 outstanding pitches, and always in his career, maybe because of injuries and some of the blister problems that he's had, he's never been able to put together that 30-35 start stretch where he can distance himself and make himself one of the premier pitchers. Seems like he might do that this year.
There's Ramon Castro getting the start tonight as the catcher, and after the first pitch. What has been the biggest difference? It seems like this Mets team went from a team that was over 500 last year to this year being outstanding, coming into tonight with 47 wins. If you could point to a couple things, what would it be?
Well, I think one, they play in the National League East, and a couple of those teams have struggled so far. That guy, Willie Randolph, has made a big difference. He has this team playing with a style and class, and they play hard every night, and I think that's something that they didn't do 2 or 3 years ago.
This pitch going to the backstop.
Kind of a smirk from Josh Beckett, so obviously he must have got away from him. You know, your first thought is maybe,
yes,
you know, after Loretta was hit,
exactly,
he was going to make a statement, but that smirk meant that he just lost control.
Ball and a strike to Ramon Castro. Couldn't hold up, went around, and it's 1-2. Now tomorrow night we're going to see another premier pitching matchup. Curt Schilling against Tom Glavine, and what a bounce back season it has been for Glavine. Now 11 victories.
Well, Glavine has just resurrected himself, tell you the truth. Since the All-Star break last year, he really struggled because that Quest Tech could not use a little off the plate, but now is throwing changeups and fastballs and curveballs, using all the clubs in his golf bag this year.
2-2 the count, and this is the matchup tomorrow night. 2 great veterans going head to head, of course, both with more than 200 wins, and this is going to be another great game tomorrow night. This entire series has been a lot of fun. You know that Curt Schilling relishes those type of games where he's going to go head to head with a guy like Tom Glavine.
And I think one of the things they share is that they both take the ball. They want the ball 35 times a year. They're real steady in that way, and Curt Schilling, of course, known for the bloody sock game, but I've known him a long time, and he's one of the premier pitchers, power pitchers, still at this advanced age for a baseball pitcher.
Castro after the 3-2, and he lines it into center field for a base hit. Here's the first base runner of the night for the New York Mets.
Well, it's a fastball away, and Beckett, knowing he has the 4-0 lead, what do you do as a pitcher? Well, you're going to throw something up. You're going to make sure it's a strike, and hopefully one of your fielders can make a play. But Castro got the best of it. And he's angry because I'll tell you, he knows he's got no-hit kind of stuff in him tonight. That's how good his fastball and curveball are tonight.
Well, the last couple of outings have been so good for Beckett. Last time out, retiring the first 16 Philadelphia Phillies that he faced. And he's been in that kind of zone lately as he deals with Lastings, Millage. Now, he has burst onto the scene this year for you guys, and from what we have seen defensively, not that exciting, but he's been pretty good for you.
He's been amazing defensively until he got here, and you know that left field wall, if it's a really high fly ball, can become dangerous out there, and it's just inexperience, really.
Had some comments after the game last night about the wind as he rips this one foul down into the seats. Well, he is part of the youth movement, I guess, here for you. A lot of people talking about the left side of your infield, and that left side is going to be together, it appears, for a long time for the Mets.
Well, Lastings, Millage at a young age. See, he's got 3 outfield assists in 21 games, but Reyes and Wright have just been fantastic, and they just exponentially get better, it seems, every night. Boy, I like to see what Beckett's doing, pitching a lot inside, getting those guys off the plate. That's something the Mets have not been able to do the last 2 nights here in Fenway, but they have been doing well this year.
Swing and a miss, and the count 2-2. Got to be a strange situation tonight for Josh Beckett. All the attention has been on Pedro Martinez, his walk out to the bullpen last night in between innings. It seems like everything has been on Pedro tonight, and overshadowed has been the starter for the Red Sox, Josh Beckett.
And I think, he's kind of a quiet kid anyway, so that's not really a problem. But every athlete has that inside of them that they want to compete. And I'm sure that Josh Beckett said, you know what? You make sure that they all get the accolades, but I'm a good pitcher too, as he throws that good curveball that strikes out Millage.
4th strikeout for Josh Beckett.
Like I said before, he just has all the pitches down. Look at this coming out of the hand. Great picture from the truck, guys. You can see that spin, and good framing by Veritek, one of the best catchers in baseball.
So 2 down, Ramon Castro at first base, and it's back up on top. Jose Reyes, and Lastings Millage wanted to make up for the error in the first inning as best he could, but strikes out this time.
Don, the Red Sox have been able to cool off Reyes, but he went through a stretch, 2 weeks in a row player of the week. But he's going to be, in time, he's learning, one of the most exciting players in baseball. That's the kind of talent that he has.
How is his defense?
His defense has been amazing this year. If he has a problem, occasionally have a lapse mentally at shortstop, but for the most part this year he's been excellent at short.
It seemed like during the offseason the Mets had some things that they had to fix, but the way they fixed it seemed amazing. Omar Minaya doing a fantastic job, and Carlos Delgado, Wagner, has been huge. 1-1. He is on the ground. Loretta moves a few steps to his right, goes to second for the force out there that ends the inning. We'll be back with Ron Darling as we head to the 3rd at 4-0 Boston.
Why do we always take your car? What can I tell you? It's a Mercury Milan. The secret's out. Milan can get you out of that Accord or Camry routine. With its sleek lines and sharp interior, it doesn't look like anything else. Up to 32 miles per gallon isn't too bad either. Hey, can I drive? Maybe next time. And now you can lease Milan for just $219 a month. See your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
You own your own business and wear all the hats. But when was the last time you got a little recognition? Well, here's something just for you. Sovereign Business Owner Banking. You can get free business checking, 300 free monthly transactions, and no minimum balance, plus free checks. We'll even add the rewards of our best personal checking account free. Sovereign Business Owner Banking. Does that work for you?
Champagne.
Don't worry, I got us covered.
What is that?
It's a Coors Light cooler box. 18 plastic bottles and a ready-made cooler. All we need is ice.
Genius. The Go Anywhere Coors Light Cooler Box. Just add ice and enjoy.
To the bride.
Coors Light. Taste the cold.
You are our neighbors. You teach. You cheer. You sacrifice. You help those around you. You love your little corner of the world. Here at Extra Mart, we are proud to serve you, and we thank you for letting us be a part of your community.
Extra Mart offers irresistibly delicious, extra nutritious Nesquik at our everyday low price of 2 for $2. Nesquik, kid delicious, mom nutritious.
Last half of the third inning, and we head down memory lane. This may be painful for some of our viewers. But back to 1986, starts in game 1, and he pitched in 4 and 7, of course, as well. And it seemed like it was a long time ago to you.
You know, it does seem, and it's painful for me because I have to look at that mullet that I had in 1986.
That's good hair. What are you talking about?
But what a thrill it was for me to pitch here in this stadium. It was amazing.
Well, we head into the last half of the third inning. A lot of those guys were here last night. Did you get to visit with any of those guys?
I did get to visit with them, and I'm so happy that they had their day, because you tend to forget how great that team was and exciting it was all season long. Coming back, they had a similar season to the '86 Mets in that they always came back, and it was never too late. They got Spike Owen and Hendu late that really solidified that team, and I'm glad that they were able to have their night.
Manny Ramirez hitting it off here in the last half of the third inning, a 4-0 Boston lead, and Manny cranks one to left, but it's bending and bending foul.
Well, this has been Pedro's mantra the last 4 or 5 games. See that little spinner right in the middle of the plate? He hasn't been able to get that down and away where he needs to get it, and that's the problem.
Well, he had the long first inning in which he threw 29 pitches. Much better second inning. He did hit Loretta with 2 outs in the second. And fouling off another, and it evens up now at 2-2. Well, we have seen a little bit of this National League East, and the Red Sox have taken great advantage of the National League East so far, but it does appear that there's some teams scuffling in there. The Atlanta Braves as well.
Atlanta Braves are having a horrible year so far. Washington the same. The Florida Marlins probably have been the biggest surprise. Young team playing under Joe Girardi. They've played wonderfully. And I thought the Phillies honestly would be better. I think they seem to have a nice lineup, seem to have some nice young pitching, but have not been able to put it together. And of course, their recent stuff that's happened for Brett Myers and that team can kill a team and kill its year.
And he lines it into left field. It's headed towards the corners. Lastings Millage over to play it. Manny thinking too. And the throw to second is cut off. Ramirez with a leadoff double to begin the bottom of the third.
Well, this is a changeup. See how it comes out of his hand? Has the full, all 4 fingers with that grip on that changeup. He does not get it though away enough or down enough to a great hitter like Ramirez. He's been great since the second he walked on the field.
So a leadoff double for Manny, and it brings up Trot Nixon. Last half of the third inning. Sounded like there was some apprehension for Pedro Martinez leading into the series, and perhaps if he could have avoided this, perhaps he would have.
Yeah, he made some comments about a lot of the guys on that team are his friends, dear friends, and you know, he's a very emotional, he's a very a guy that's very loyal to his friends, and I think that he would have liked to have not faced them and rather face the teams in the National League where, you know, he doesn't have that tie. But that's how it goes, and I'm sure the fans love to see him, and they gave him a great welcome.
And there for a strike to Nixon with a look back at Marty Foster. You get back to the area very much?
I do. I see my parents as much as I can. All my brothers live in this area, so it's just a great thing to come back and spend time with them. We had an off day on Monday, of course, so I spent it at the pool with my brothers, so it was really fun.
Great.
Yeah.
A count of 2-1 right now to Trot Nixon, who bats with Manny Ramirez at second base. Darling kind enough to come over for an inning. Jerry Remy is on the other side on Mets TV. You guys always have the 3-man booth, or is that a?
Not always. We have it about I think 10 or 12 series this year.
Lined into center field for Nixon. Manny will be sent around by DeMarlo Hale. The throw. He is up the line, and Ramirez gets in standing. It's a 5-0 Boston lead. Nixon checks in with RBI number 41 of the year.
Well, I've always thought of Trot Nixon as one of the most underrated players on the Sox team because of Ortiz and Ramirez. But when he's healthy, he's just about as good a left-handed hitter as there is on that team. And stayed back on that little cutter outside. And Beltran, by the time he got it, that throw was off, or he might have had a play on Manny at home plate.
So Nixon at first base with nobody out, to run in for the Red Sox here in the 3rd inning. And it brings up Jason Varitek, who sends it foul off to the left. Are you a proponent of interleague play? I know Jerry often says he absolutely hates it, but I mean, the fans love it. I'm a big fan of it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, the fans do love it. I'm not a big fan of it. I think that if you did do an interleague series, maybe the Mets and Yankees is a nice thing. I just think that with the emphasis on getting a championship, winning your division, or getting the wild card, you would just hate to see, you know, games that I mean the Red Sox. Look at the Red Sox. What a great thing for them. 12-1, I believe, now, right?
Exactly.
Interleague play. This is going to really help them on their quest to be in first place. But I think for baseball, maybe 1 series a year, maybe 2, but not a lot of them, because I'd hate to see that decide where you're going to finish.
So you like some of the rivalries, but you think it needs to be fine-tuned a little bit to help the schedule?
Yeah, and just make it less. I think, you know, a couple series a year, I think that'd be nice. Fans get to see different players, and it worked out nice here with Martinez coming to Boston.
Well, it's worked out great for the Red Sox this season. In the past, it really has not. The Red Sox have had some tough numbers in interleague, but it's not been the case this year. Line by the dive of Delgado into right for Varitek. Nixon is headed for 3rd, maybe beyond. DeMarlo Hale will stop him at 3rd. And it's the 2nd hit of the night for Jason Varitek.
Well, this will be one of those decisions that Willie Randolph will have to make. Again, kind of just spinning right in the middle of the plate. Cannot get it inside or outside Martinez so far. But Willie Randolph at some point might have to say, you know what, let's cut our losses. Maybe we'll take Pedro out, get him some extra rest. Let's not make him throw 90 or 100 pitches, because he just doesn't have the stuff he's had in the beginning of the year.
He's up to 56 pitches, and it's been a tough 56 pitches tonight. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. And another jam as Lowell takes a strike.
I think this is a nice wake-up call, to tell you the truth, for the Mets. It shows them what kind of team the Red Sox are. I mean, the Red Sox are a fine lineup. There's no holes. I think if you're a starting pitcher and you look at that lineup, you try to find someone to go after and get out, you don't see a lot of weaknesses there. So
well, the Mets are just in Toronto. Certainly they are in the mix here with the Red Sox in the American League East this season. And the Blue Jays have got a great lineup. This one back up the middle, diving as Reyes flips to 2nd, on to 1st. Much needed double play for Pedro Martinez as Trot Nixon scores with the Red Sox 6th run, and they lead it 6-0.
Well, Don, you were talking about Jose Reyes' defense, and that's a beautiful play. A shovel with the glove, and Jose Valentin, a former shortstop, has learned how to really make that turn at 2nd base. Just great speed makes that play right there. And the Red Sox also got a diamond in the rough, don't they, with Gonzalez and the way he's played defense for this club.
This entire infield really this season for the Red Sox, an all new infield, and we have not seen this kind of defense around these parts in a very long time.
You know, I'm not saying this because I'm on Nesson, but I'll tell you, for the Mets and me doing the games, there is not a team that the Mets have faced this year that are as good as the Red Sox. I mean, they're heads and shoulders above the Toronto Blue Jays, who the Mets just played.
I was just going to ask you about, that's actually where I was headed with the Toronto, and of course you guys facing New York. The Yankees with another win. They seem to continue to do it even with all the injuries, and Robinson Cano now going on the DL.
Well, you see the Yankees, of course, they've had their injuries, and for them to stay this close, I think is a good lesson for them, the way they played. But like I said before, we just got out of Toronto, and Toronto is not the team that the Red Sox are. This is a real juggernaut here with some fine pitching. And if you look ahead, Red Sox fans, I know I'm a Red Sox fan too. You never want to look too far ahead, but if you look when you make the playoffs, to have a Schilling, to have a Beckett, boy, that's pretty formidable.
Coco Crisp bending one foul off to the left. It's 2-2. 2 outs in the inning, and Beckett has more of a lead to work with now. The Red Sox on top 6-0. He has given up just the 1 hit through the first 3 innings tonight. Coco Crisp grounding out to second base, his first time up. Getting his second look tonight at Pedro Martinez. Outside, ball 4, and Coco Crisp headed down to first base with the second walk given up by Pedro Martinez. This play profile brought to you by Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network. And Pedro, one of 2 Red Sox history to win multiple Cy Young awards, and Roger Clemens, who faced you in the World Series. Are you shocked that he's still pitching and pitching well?
I'm shocked. I'm telling you, I pull a hamstring just sitting in this chair sometimes. I can't believe that he's still going out there and throwing well over 90. But you know, his traditional workouts, he's gotten himself in a place where I think for Houston he's only going to make 20 starts. That's great also. And he's pitched well in both starts. Just the Astros are doing what they did last year and not scoring any runs when he goes out there.
Are they going to have enough to be able to do it even with Roger?
Well, I think Houston has enough to do it, but they certainly haven't showed it.
Gonzalez went deep last night. He's done it again tonight. This time it's off Pedro Martinez. It's a 2-run shot. It's an 8-0 Boston lead. Well, if you're a Red Sox fan, this is about what you wanted. Able to salute Pedro Martinez tonight with a great hand, but also to take it to him, and the Red Sox are.
Well, you show that right on the bat. That's middle. And I'll tell you, big league hitters do not miss that pitch. And Alex Gonzalez really has turned it around after struggling early in the season.
It was a very, very slow start for Gonzalez. And boy, has he been hot lately. His 5th home run of the year as Youkilis takes a strike. He runs allowed tonight, the most since 2004 at New York. Of course, a member of the Red Sox then. And action for the first time tonight in the Mets pen as Darren Oliver gets up. This one fouled off to the right. What kind of shape is the bullpen in, as it may look to be early tonight? Did they go into the bullpen?
You know, Saturday in Toronto, Darren Oliver went 4 1/3 innings. So, you know, this is pushing him again for some extra work. But he has been great in that bullpen. A guy that they didn't even know if he could make the team coming out of spring training. In fact, they took Pedro Feliciano, and then when they got to New York, they sent Feliciano back down and asked Oliver to come up, and he's been great for the club.
Youkilis goes chasing and strikes out. Ron Darling, it was a pleasure to have you here. Great to meet you, sir.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate it.
Well, the Red Sox on top now 8-0 after 3.
On July 14th, celebrate the bond between father and son.
You want to bring it back? Now give it a whirl.
From the creator of White Chicks,
I know just what to fix you.
Get ready to share the love.
You're drinking breast milk.
And let the bonding
It's bath time.
begin.
We're gonna make our own little jacuzzi bubbles.
Little man.
Say we have a little father-son football game, huh?
Rated PG-13.
The Boston Globe. A brand can be anything, but F-150 is America's top truck.
Bangor's red, white, and bold at Darling's Corner.
And Ranger quality beats Tacoma, but costs thousands less at Darling's Ford. Bold, exhilarates. Bold escapes.
Bangor's red, white, and bold at Darling's Corner.
Bold is quality comparable with Camry for thousands less. Fusion's $14,990 at Darling's Ford.
Ford Hyundai presents the gold standard for minivans. The 2007 Hyundai Entourage, a Hyundai like you've never seen before. Entourage earned the Insurance Institute's Gold Safety Award, the best rating ever for a minivan.
With 6 airbags, standard electronic stability control, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, and America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles.
Crash tested, comfort tested, value tested, and of course, fun tested. Ford Hyundai, Haskell Road, Bangor.
You may not know us yet, but when you do, you'll find we pay special attention to what's important to our customers. Now, with our investment in TD Ameritrade and TD Bank North, we're TD Bank Financial Group, bringing 150 years of paying serious attention to what counts. You. TD Bank Financial Group of Companies.
Starts during the All-Star break, a 3-day series of new original shows. Leading off Monday, July 10th at 7 is the Remy's, a first ever mid-season awards hosted by myself. All day Tuesday, we're replaying your 3 favorite Sox games in our Sox and 2 All-Star Marathon. Then on Wednesday night at 8, check out the world television premiere of Spaceman, a Baseball Odyssey, an original documentary featuring Bill Lee. It's a summer vacation, Nesson style.
Jerry, you're back.
Yes.
How was it?
We had some fun. I don't think they'll ever have me on again, as Petey gave up 4 in that inning on New York television.
That was good.
But yeah, we had a good time. It was fine.
You helped the cause then.
He doesn't have it tonight, does he?
No, not at all. This is not even a semblance of the Pedro Martinez to center field. Crisp headed back. He'll reel it in.
How'd it go for you?
Went very well.
Good.
And Darling returning home, and I'm not sure he enjoyed it quite as much. It's a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, that's right. Local runs from the area, right?
Millbury, Massachusetts.
Is that camera again?
Yeah, some kind of thing.
Hey, you know, we had you on camera on the New York set.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't look very comfortable.
Really?
You were like this.
Maybe it's the camera. I don't know. It's very uncomfortable. It's right in my grill.
No, but it was the center field shot.
Center field. I see.
And you were acting like you looked interested.
Well, I was listening to Ron. He had a lot of interesting things to say. It was different. They actually got some insight on their bullpen situation. As Oliver was up, apparently he threw 4 1/3 on Saturday, and then have to go to him again early. Down the right field line, Nixon over towards the pole, and makes the catch. Stayed in for him. The wind helping him out there. Time now for the Aflac trivia question. Which 3 Red Sox have been named to the All-Star game? Let's try that again. Which 3 Red Sox have been named All-Star game most valuable players? I have the answer for you a little later. So 2 down for Carlos Delgado. Delgado 1 of 4 strikeouts tonight for Josh Beckett. Action continuing in the Mets pen as Pedro Martinez tonight throwing 75 pitches through the first 3 innings. Beckett, the only hit that he has given up tonight, Ramon Castro with 1 out last inning. you do anything differently over there? Is there anything strange or unique that stood out for you in your inning experience?
No, not really.
Nothing unusual?
No. No. I guess is the best way to put it.
Delgado hits one a ton to deep right center field. Back goes Crisp into the triangle. That one is gone above the bullpen and out of here. Delgado hit a home run last night. He's done it again tonight. And that's 22 now on the year. The first run surrendered by Josh Beckett in the night.
Number 22, as you can see by the graphic, on the season for Delgado. It ties him with Lance Brookman for about 5th place in the National League. That ball was crushed by Delgado. I believe that's only the 2nd Fenway home run that Beckett has allowed.
Well, 43 career interleague home runs for Carlos Delgado. This one on the ground. Gonzalez ranging to his right. The long throw gets there in plenty of time. The inning over. Home run for Delgado gets the Mets on the board, but it's 8-1 Boston.
Shh. Something's coming.
What?
Listen and learn. Turbocharged, direct injected, electroluminescent gauges. Sports car.
Introducing the SUV you never saw coming. The all-new Mazda CX-7. Like every Mazda, it all comes back to.
Satellite-linked Acura MDX with Zagat guide ratings.
This looks good.
Bon appetit.
For limited time, take advantage of 2.9% financing on all 2006 Acura models.
Attention passengers. We are currently experiencing delays. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Starts out cold and ends up refreshing. Coors Light. Taste the cold.
You are our neighbors. You teach. You cheer. You sacrifice. You help those around you. You love your little corner of the world. Here at Extra Mart, we are proud to serve you, and we thank you for letting us be a part of your community.
Extra Mart offers irresistibly delicious, extra nutritious Nesquik at our everyday low price of 2 for $2. Nesquik, kid delicious, mom nutritious.
Well, by now you know that the tickets for the Dave Matthews Band and Sheryl Crow concerts at Fenway Park sold out very quickly. What you may not know is that several private suites are still available for your party during the concerts on Friday, July 7th and Saturday, July 8th. And the price is not as high as you think. Call 877-RED SOX 9 to enjoy Dave Matthews and Sheryl Crow from a private suite at Fenway Park.
Well, Pedro Martinez done after 3 innings tonight, giving up 8 runs, and he turns it over to Darren Oliver.
23rd appearance for Oliver, all those coming out of the bullpen. He's pitched pretty well. 3-0 record, 30 hits in 41 innings. Opponents only hitting .201 off Darren Oliver.
A lot of the drama over early tonight as Mark Loretta leads it off.
Yeah, it's only the 6th time in Pedro's career that he's given up 8 runs in a game. His career high was 10. And that came back in April of '03 against the Baltimore Orioles.
Mark Loretta singled in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second from Pedro Martinez.
You want me to leave again and I'll go over like the, you want Hirschheiser here for an inning?
No. I missed you, really.
He'd be making funny faces. We could maybe we could. How about Spanish radio? I could go over there for an inning.
It's very strange. The first thing he did, though, was lower the sound in his headset. As he put on his headset on, it was a little loud for him, but we got it figured out right away. You know what else he did? He said the crew was great. And he thanked them after replays. A great shot, guys, and they loved him. And all of a sudden, it was the greatest guy in the world.
Good.
It was unbelievable. I said, don't do that. You got to keep him on edge. One fouled off to the right, 1-2. The line on Pedro Martinez tonight over early after 3 innings, 7 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned due to the error in left by Lasting's Millage. 2 walks and a strikeout. 75 pitches thrown tonight by Pedro Martinez. I'm sure not what he has envisioned for his return to Fenway. Loretto, Ortiz, and Ramirez here in the bottom of the 4th inning. On the ground on the third baseline, foul. David Wright in foul ground picks it up. Still 2-2. Time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Which 3 Red Sox have been named All-Star Game Most Valuable Player? Carl Yastrzemski, 1970, played at Riverfront Stadium. Roger Clemens in 1986, playing at the Astrodome in Houston. And Pedro Martinez, 1999, right here at Fenway Park. And one of the most awesome displays you'll ever see. And Pedro is pitching here in '99. Well, it hits a soft liner that is not caught in the air. This tried to sell it, but fired to first anyway in time. And this was that spectacular outing in 1999 for Pedro Martinez. The All-Star Game right here at Fenway.
Put on quite a show that night against the National League right here at Fenway Park with all the strikeouts against the big hitters of the National League. The fastball, the changeup. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Pedro go on the DL shortly after that?
Yeah. David Ortiz 0 for 2. He grounded back to the mound to Pedro Martinez and grounded into the shift out to second base.
After that All-Star performance, he made 1 start after that, had a very difficult time, and then was put on the disabled list.
Breaking ball and a swing and a miss. David Ortiz with a big cut. And Oliver with the Red Sox back in 2002. And he gets rid of Big Papi in impressive fashion. First strikeout for Darren Oliver, and there's 2 down.
Looks like a cut fastball from Darren Oliver to pick up the strikeout against Ortiz. Boy, Darren Oliver has been around a long time. See the numbers with the Red Sox back in 2002. 14 games, the 4-5 record. I kind of lost track of him after he left the Red Sox.
And he taps it foul. He's now 35 years old after leaving the Red Sox in 2002. He was in Colorado in 2003. And split to 2004 between Florida and Houston. He spent last year at AAA. Two different AAA locales last year, Tucson and at Iowa. But back in the big leagues this year with the Mets. To third base, David Wright with the throw across, and Darren Oliver does a nice job retiring the side in order. Through 4, it is 8-1 Boston.
Every texture, every line, every nuance. Created with one thing in mind. An entirely new ES, the Lexus ES 350. At your Hartford, New Haven Lexus dealer.
I thought all those reports had to be done by noon.
That they do.
It's 11:50, Jerry.
That Rico MFP prints at 55 pages per minute. Job ready by 11:59.
11:59.
Like to push the envelope.
Uh-huh.
Move your ideas forward with Rico Dependability.
For the largest selection of gas and diesel motorhomes in New England, it's USRV. From Airstream, American Eagle, and Travel Supreme, it's USRV.
From lightweight travel trailers to luxury motorhomes, this is the sale you've been waiting for. USRV Summer Spectacular. From A to Z, it's USRV.
Quantity, quality, and price, it's USRV. My name is Marty, and we make better deals.
You've seen how they play.
There we go. Oh, big puppy.
Now see how they live.
What's up, yo? This is David Ortiz.
With AT&T Home Turf. Visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
Granite City Electric
and Glen Electric present
Field of Dreams 3, where you could win night lights for your town's ball field.
Enter to win at granitecityelectric.com.
Granite City Electric.
We do it right now.
Sports fans love to armchair manage, and often their debates begin with the question, what if? Join NESN July 20th for the television event What If, presented by WB Mason, and find out what could have happened in Game 7 of the 2003 ALCS if Grady Little had pulled Pedro Martinez in the 8th inning with the score 5-3 and 1 out. Using baseball simulation technology, you see the most likely result had that happened. And don't forget to vote on the top 10 what-if moments in New England sports history for a chance to win great prizes at NESN.com.
Here's Jose Valentin to lead it off in the 5th. As back to the mound goes Josh Beckett. Surrendered his first run of the game with 2 outs last inning when Carlos Delgado hit a home run out to right center field. Valentin, Chavez, and Castro in the inning for the Mets. Fly ball off of third goes Lowell. Wynn knocking it back towards fair ground, and he makes the catch in short left. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by your local Subaru dealers, Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network, and by New England Dodge dealers. One down for Endy Chavez, who struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Lined into center field. Base hit for Chavez. It's a wide turn at first, a 1-out single. Third hit of the night given up by Josh Beckett.
Yeah, he's had good success against Beckett. 421 coming into the game. 1 for 2 tonight. He'll take the Beckett fastball and shoot it by Gonzalez for the base hit.
Pitching line is brought to you by Nissan. Josh Beckett with 4 1/3 innings so far tonight. 55 pitches deep. And the only run, the home run by Carlos Delgado. There's Ramon Castro, singled his first time up. Castro from Puerto Rico in his second season with the Mets after 6 seasons as a member of the Florida Marlins. Former teammate of Josh Beckett's.
Kind of buzzed Castro last time up, didn't he? High hot, wouldn't up over his head, maybe in retaliation for the Pedro pitch that hit Loretta.
Loretta getting hit and staying in the game as he went down to first base and checked on by Paul Lasarda and by Terry Francona, but staying in. Fouled off, hangs at 1-2 to Castro.
Red Sox offense has really jumped in the American League. They're now second in batting average behind Toronto at 288. Third in runs scored. They are 6th in home runs. So those numbers offensively are coming up for Boston, especially on this long homestand against the National League.
For the backstop, 1-2. Look at that. Red Sox at 287. Toronto still on top at 294 heading into tonight's action. Blue Jays starting the day 5 games back of the Red Sox in the American League East. Red Sox have been able to take advantage of the National League East in a big way. Foul tipped and held on to by Veritek as Castro strikes out. That strikeout number 5 of the night for Josh Beckett.
Beckett had 8 strikeouts last time against Philadelphia, and that was a season high for Josh Beckett. Again, challenge time, fastball at about 97 miles an hour for the strikeout.
Down for Lastings Millage, who struck out looking in the 3rd. Trying to make up for the error back in the first inning to kind of open things up. Not for the error, Pedro Martinez would have been out of the first inning with just the 2 runs. And it turned into a 4-run first for the Red Sox. Red Sox would add 4 more on Pedro in the 3rd inning. And that would do it for Pedro Martinez. Again, 3 innings tonight, allowing the 8 runs that the Red Sox have. Fly ball right field. Nixon coming on. And that'll do it. In the top of the 5th. Halfway through this one, Boston on top 8-1.
Let's go for a ride. Feel the sunshine. Let's go for a ride. It's summertime.
Toyota's summer sales event is on, so ride off with a great deal on a gas-sipping Corolla. Corolla delivers an impressive 41 MPG rating. And right now, you can save on a Corolla with 3.9% financing. Or check out the striking all-new Camry. Don't miss your chance to save. Toyota summer sales event ends soon. Toyota, moving forward.
You are our neighbors. You teach. You cheer. You sacrifice. You help those around you. You love your little corner of the world. Here at Extra Mart, we are proud to serve you, and we thank you for letting us be a part of your community.
Extra Mart offers irresistibly delicious, extra nutritious Nesquik at our everyday low price of 2 for $2. Nesquik, kid delicious, mom nutritious.
Here's a reason to smile. Aspen Dental Summer Smile Sale. Right now, get no down payment, no interest, and no payments for 6 months on any dental or denture service. It's easy to get the smile you've always wanted during Aspen Dental Summer Smile Sale. Aspen Dental. Smile. No payments for 6 months for a limited time at all Aspen Dental locations.
Get 0% financing on 2006 Ford vehicles and we'll pay for your gas until 2007. Visit NewEnglandFord.com for your chance to win 10 tickets to see Kelly Clarkson in concert.
Tonight after our Red Sox coverage, stay with Nesson for Sports Desk with Hazel May, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bat Centers. Among the topics tonight, find out more about who the Celtics picked in the NBA draft, who the next coach of the Bruins will be, and highlights from the Yankees-Braves game in the Bronx. That's Sports Desk tonight after our Red Sox coverage, only on Nesson. And one person I know that is not going to be the coach of the Boston Bruins is Mike Narachi. He officially pulled his name out of the running today, just prior to this ball game starting tonight. Plus, Mike, with many real estate holdings in Rhode Island, does not need that job.
John Nixon dribbling one foul outside of third base.
And while we're on the topic, tomorrow afternoon at 1, the Boston Bruins are announcing a new head coach, and Nesson will have the entire press conference live. For those of you stuck at work without a TV, we'll replay it again at 5:30 tomorrow night. So plenty of Bruins coverage tomorrow here on Nesson.
Maybe it is Narachi. He decided not to let you know. Maybe it's.
No, he actually told me to keep it quiet. He did notify the Bruins.
You did a good job of that.
I did. I'm not good with secrets, Don.
I'll remember that. 1-2 to Nixon, who's on the ground down to first. It's handled by Delgado. And let's check in with Tina Cervasio. Tina?
Don, some good news about the Red Sox that are on the DL. Matt Clement threw a side yesterday, threw 30 pitches and felt great afterwards. Pitching coach Al Nipper was very encouraged. Now Clement will throw a side in Florida on Friday. Then we'll have one start with AAA Pawtucket and then could rejoin the starting rotation. Willie Mopena will play Friday and Saturday with the Lowell Spinners. Then go to Pawtucket to play on Sunday and Monday, and will get some playing time at first base as well. And Pena could also possibly join the Red Sox on the road. Don?
All right, Tina, thanks very much. With one out here in the 5th. Well, the Red Sox been able to get by with all of the injuries going on, and the news the other day from Terry Francona as far as Willie Mopena goes, that when he does get to the Pawtucket Red Sox, going to be playing a little first base, which he has not done since spring training, which would be a little bit of a change for Willie Mo.
Well, right now, you know, you have obviously Nixon and Kapler in the outfield. Pena, of course, an outfielder. There really is not a backup first baseman. Backup first baseman now would be Mark Loretta. If you needed somebody to go over to that position, it was either Loretta or Lowell, and Loretta said he's better. So it would probably be him going over there. So, you know, maybe a little experience there, maybe a couple of games at first base for Pena. It'd be interesting to see the move they make to get him activated, of course, when he's ready.
Two-two to Veritek. He sent foul off to the right. You know, Willie Mo's never played the major league game at first base. And has done so in spring training apparently in the past. Veritek's 2 for 2 tonight. Single to center, single to right. Swing and a miss this time. Second strikeout for Oliver, who's been very good in relief of Pedro Martinez.
5 up, 5 down for Darren Oliver and a couple of strikeouts. This fastball again, it looks like a cut fastball up and away from Jason Varitek for the strikeout. So the first time they've been able to retire Varitek in this game.
Two down for Mike Lowell, who reached on the error by Lastings Millage in left field and then grounded into a double play last time up. Oliver's thrown 28 pitches in relief. He's retired all 5 Red Sox that he's faced. Time now for the Coors Cold Blast. And it's Mike Lowell in last night's ball game, getting his 9th home run of the year and his 2nd of the homestand. Part of the Red Sox victory in the first game of the series. Ron Darling was saying in his stay with us, so this is a pretty good wake-up call right now for the Mets, who've kind of been cruising. They're 47 wins coming in, beating up on the rest of the National League East. And going up against a team like the Red Sox, and a little bit of a barometer. To deep left field for Lowell. Lastings Millage bag to make the catch in front of the wall. The Red Sox go in order in the 5th through 5. It is 8-1 Boston.
Free is fantastic, right? Like free coffee or free parking. But free checking? Usually you have to buy checks and keep minimum balances. At Sovereign Bank, free means free. And with our free interest checking, use any bank's ATMs free. You also get free checks, unlimited check writing, and free online banking with bill pay. It even pays interest.
So you won't just save money, you'll make it.
Celebrate your financial independence at your Chrysler dealer with 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,000 cash allowance. Plus, make no monthly payments until 2007. Save on Pacifica with a 5-star government frontal crash test rating and recipient of J.D. Power & Associates highest ranked van in initial quality award, Chrysler Town & Country with Stow & Go. Now current owners get an additional $750 loyalty cash allowance on Chrysler Town & Country. Plus, make no monthly payments until 2007. Offer ends June 30th.
This armor is essential. It's not about fashion. Every month I live, the Connecticut Lottery gives me another $5,000. So I look past the inconveniences. $5,000 a month for the rest of my life. That's what I keep telling myself. Sometimes it gets old. But hey, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Win for life. The longer you live, the more money you get.
Chip.
Foxwoods, the wonder of it all.
Stay tuned after the game for WB Mason's Extra Innings and Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra Time. Karen and Dennis Eckersley will have all the post-game reaction, including Josh Beckett and Pedro Martinez comments. Plus, Jack Welch will join TC and Eck for a fan perspective. It's all right after the game on NESN.
The top of the Mets order, and leading it off here in the 6th inning, Jose Reyes, who's 0 for 2 in the game tonight. He's flied to center, grounded into a fielder's choice.
Hey, I saw in the pregame show Jack Welch on the set with TC and Eck. Yeah. He's got like a, what do you call it, a jackometer?
Is that right?
I think so, where, you know, like they say, like if Big Papi, like he was real hot, you know, like it'd go like way to the right. And then there was like, he had, I think, Tavares and Rudy Cianis, it was like way to the left. It was like on the cold spot. So I think they called it the jackometer. I have to see it again, but I think that's what it was.
Well, you want to be on the right side of the jackometer. Apparently.
It's not bad to be lukewarm, like in the middle sometimes, you know, but then you got to get hot and then go way to the right.
It's a Welsh-a-meter, apparently. It's not the Jack-a-meter. Right side to Loretta.
It's Welsh-a-meter.
To first, yes. You're close, though. One down.
Yeah, I was thinking of Jack in the Box. Now, here's a guy, see, Jack Welch, who doesn't need, obviously, our Nesson helicopter to get to the ballpark. He has his own luxury model that he probably dropped off here, and then he'll shoot back to the studio in Watertown after the ball game. He's got a lot of money, this guy, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants.
I think there's his bodyguard next to him.
No.
It's very sunny.
Does he have a thing in his ear? You know, like the Secret Service?
Paul LaDuca, the batter. LaDuca popped out to first, line to center. Inside, and LaDuca gets hit.
Beckett's come inside a couple of times tonight to Paul LaDuca in this ball game, and this time gets him, looks like, on the hand with the fastball. Plus early in the game, Pedro hit Loretta almost in the same spot. That was pretty much I think up on the hand for Loretta, and this back in the second inning.
So we're even as it goes. 1 out, 1 on as Carlos Beltran stands in. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Paul LaDuca, of course, was Beckett's catcher last year down in Florida. Maybe he didn't like some of the pitches that he called.
Popped up, foul ground. Mike Lowell ranging over, and the wind blowing it back towards him, and he makes the catch, 2 down. So 2 away, and it brings up Carlos Delgado. Hit a home run in the 4th inning, the only blemish for Josh Beckett tonight, to 5 2/3 innings so far. Back to Beckett, and he'll flip to first, and gone are the Mets. In the 6th, it is 8-1 Boston after 5 1/2.
We're America's largest refiner, and some of the vehicles we fuel don't travel on roads. For those that do, we make some of the cleanest gasoline on the planet, and every drop is performance guaranteed. And our employees contribute over 200,000 hours a year in our communities. We know you probably don't think about these things when you think of Valero. That's okay, just as long as when you do think of us, you think of this. Valero, the energy to take you anywhere.
Take the Hyundai Challenge during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Test drive the sedan that beats Honda Accord. The new Hyundai Sonata with more standard safety features and interior space than Accord. Great fuel mileage and America's best warranty for $4,500 less than Accord. Now save even more, up to $3,000 cash back on Sonata. There's never been a better time to save thousands during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Lease a new Hyundai Sonata for just $189 a month at your local Hyundai dealer. Offer ends July 4th.
Block Island, a magical place of pristine beaches, seaside verandas, and cliffs that touch the sky. And now it's so easy to get to. Get away from it all on the high-speed Block Island Express. Cruising from New London to Block Island in just over an hour. With up to 5 daily departures, enjoy a day trip or a long weekend. Check it out at goblockisland.com.
You know a really smart time to buy a Toyota? Now. Because with Toyota's Independence Week savings, you can lease a Sienna minivan with room for 8 and airbags for all 3 rows of seats for just $229 a month. Or lease a smooth-riding, high-mileage Toyota Highlander for just $269 a month. Or get 0% financing on either Highlander or Sienna. 0%. You know, buying a Toyota is smart anytime. But right now, it's really smart. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward.
Last half of the 6th inning, Josh Beckett threw the first 6, 73 pitches total.
And 5 strikeouts on the night. He gets Delgado on a changeup for his first strikeout. Then he gets Valentin on the breaking ball. A fastball to Chavez. And then a breaking ball to Milich. And a fastball by Castro for his 5 strikeouts in this ball game. Very low pitch count, economizing his pitches in this ball game. Which earlier in the season was a bit of a problem for him. A high pitch count through 4 or 5 innings.
Coco Crisp sending one softly over the mound. Reyes on the run, double pumps and cannot get Crisp. The hesitation really cost him, as he would have had him. On the chopper up the middle, and after 6 up, 6 down for Darren Oliver, the first batter reaches here in the 6th.
Any kind of bobble with a guy with speed, and you got a good chance to beat it out. And you'll see the transfer is not clean from Reyes. He could never get a good handle on it. It's almost a changeup he threw to first base. Just couldn't get the grip of the baseball and really grabbed it with all of his fingers, and of course that creates the soft toss, the changeup.
Alex Gonzalez takes the first pitch strike. A 2-run shot his last time up. Pedro Martinez, and the last time the Red Sox scored all 8 runs for Boston tonight off Pedro. Fouled off back into the seats. They're going to go back to September 23rd and 24th of 2004 for Gonzalez, since he has homered in back-to-back games. That was against Philadelphia and Atlanta. He's done it 7 times in his career. 0-2 the count to Gonzalez with Crisp at first. And Oliver retired the side in order in the 4th and again in the 5th. And an infield hit here in the 6th inning. First base runner for the Red Sox since Oliver entered the game. Well, Terry Francona was asked before the ball game today what Alex Gonzalez is doing differently now compared to when he was struggling earlier on in the season. And Terry said he was kind of in between things. At one point he wanted to go the opposite way and worked on that. Then he wanted to pull more when he got into a slump type scenario, and that was not working. So he ended up sort of in between for a long time, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere it started to click, and then more than anything the confidence came back for Alex Gonzalez. And boy, is he hitting it right now, more I think than perhaps we expected. This is along the lines of what you hope for, but right now very, very good offensively.
Well, to add to that too is the fact that when you come to a new league, there's a lot of guys you haven't seen before, and that's an immediate problem. The other thing is I think he's swinging at strikes more.
In the dirt outside, and it evens up now at 2-2. Kevin Youkilis waiting on deck in the top of the Red Sox order. Did he go? They'll check. No, says Fielding Culbreth, first base umpire. Well, hopefully the rain stays away from tomorrow night's ball game, because it's going to be a great matchup. Kurt Schilling against Tom Glavine in the final game of this series between the Red Sox and the Mets. As the Red Sox will have this homestand come to an end and begin a 3-city tour after tomorrow night's ball game. They will take him to Florida to take on the Marlins, and Tampa Bay to take on the Devil Rays. Been a while since we have seen the Rays. And then the Red Sox head to Chicago to play the world champion Chicago White Sox at the tail end of the trip prior to the All-Star break. Down to third base, a foul ball picked by David Wright, but foul.
Well, kids, collect the caps from Hood Milk in the Light Block bottle all summer long, and your school could earn up to $10,000 and win a visit from a Boston Red Sox player. You mentioned the matchup tomorrow night. 9-game winner Curt Schilling against an 11-game winner Tom Glavine. Of course, Glavine with a excellent chance to win 300 games at the major league level. Of course, Curt Schilling just going by 200 recently, and that's going to be a nice matchup. Two guys that have been around a long time, veteran pitchers, know what they're doing.
Ball 4, and Gonzalez down to first base. So the first two have reached, and a look at the matchup. It'll occur here tomorrow night, the final game of the 3-game series. And Glavine, it looked there for a little while like maybe he wouldn't get to 300. Now it seems to be a cinch for Glavine, who has had a great season this year. And of course, heading into tomorrow night's action with an 11-2 record, Schilling at 9-2. Illustrious careers for both. I only wonder how many pitchers moving forward will have the chance to ever be a 300-game winner with the way it is now. As Euclid stands in with runners at first and second. This one gets away, and everybody's going to move up. It's through Ramon Castro, and Crisp is to third, Gonzalez to second.
That ball just clanked out of his glove. That's got to be a pass ball for Castro as both runners advance in the scoring position. It's a fastball from Darren Oliver, just didn't catch it.
Pass ball.
Infield comes in for the Mets as they are down by 7 in this ball game.
Euclid sprays it out to center. It'll fall for a hit. From third comes Coco Crisp. And the Red Sox lead it 9-1.
Euclid now with 29 multiple hit games on the season. He and Loretta in the top 10 in the American League. 2 for 4 tonight. Loretta has 31 multiple hit games. The leader, Ichiro, with 38.
So first and third, and Loretta pops it up. Out goes Valentin to run it down, making the catch for the first out of the inning. We're here at Fenway Park in Boston. Don Orsillo with Jerry Remy and Tina Cervasio bringing you Red Sox baseball in high definition on NESN. Well, the Red Sox getting to Pedro Martinez early in this one, scoring 4 times in the first. They would score 4 times in the third, chasing Pedro tonight. After his 3-inning effort, giving up 7 hits, 8 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 1. And what was a very difficult outing for Martinez, who threw 75 pitches. The Red Sox add a run here so far in the bottom of the 6th and lead it 9-1. Ortiz has been contained tonight. So he has grounded out twice and struck out swinging. High fly ball to center field. Carlos Beltran makes the catch as tagging at third and scoring is Gonzalez, and the Red Sox grab their 10th run of the night. It's 10-1 Boston as Big Papi picks up his 69th RBI of the season.
Well, in case you're just joining us, we'll take a brief look at some action from Pedro Martinez here tonight. And here's where he messes up a double play attempt. He looks toward third, then toward second. I mean, that's a play that Pedro would go normally to second base and get the double play. Veritek up the middle on the curveball, a drive and a run. And Gonzalez with the 2-run home run in the 3rd inning on the breaking ball.
Well, it's the 8th time this season the Red Sox have scored 10 or more runs in a game as they lead it 10-1. And he takes the first pitch, strike from Darren Oliver. It's actually now the 4th time in the last 9 games that the Red Sox have scored 10 or more runs. Red Sox coming into tonight's action having won the last 10 games in a row.
The National League has been very kind to the Boston Red Sox, and they've been able to open up a little bit of a gap. Not much of a gap, but a gap between the Yankees and in particular Toronto.
Inside, a ball and 2 strikes to Ramirez. Well, the victory tonight, the Red Sox would grab their 47th win of the year. That would equal the number of wins that the New York Mets had. And Josh Beckett has gone the first 6 innings and trying to secure that effort. And he strikes out. The Red Sox gone in the 6th. They add 2 more, and at the end of 6, 10-1 Boston.
The Boston Globe Sports.
I drive Hyundai or Camry when Honda quality has highest average fuel economy.
That's good for us, but great for you.
And safety for everyone is standard.
Take the Sylvan Road.
In Bangor to Darlings Honda. Beyond transportation is stimulation and better fuel economy. Maxima, $23,990 in Bangor.
You'll do better at Darlings Corner.
4-door Frontier 4x4, $19,990.
Take the Sylvan Road.
To Darlings Nissan.
Chevy. First we changed our lineup. Now we're changing the way to get one. Announcing Chevy Sign and Drive. With 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, and 0 due at signing on select Chevy vehicles. Qualified lessees can get a low mileage lease on an 06 Impala LT for around $249 a month with 0 due at signing. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Sign, drive, and leave your checkbook at home. That's an American Revolution. Or see your Chevy dealer about 0% financing during the Chevy 72-hour sale.
The guy who wears the gold bow tie says,
"Hey, hanging around with a bunch of zeros could be a good thing."
At Quirk Chevrolet, you just sign and drive because there's 0 down, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit when you lease a new Chevy Cobalt, Malibu, or Impala. Did we mention they all get over 30 miles per gallon? That's 0 down, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. Just sign and drive at Quirk Chevrolet. You think anyone else can make a bunch of zeros add up to so much value for you? Then you don't know Jack.
Chevy. First we changed our lineup. Now we're changing the way to get one. Announcing Chevy Sign and Drive. With 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, and 0 due at signing on select Chevy vehicles. Qualified lessees can get a low mileage lease on an 06 Equinox LS front wheel drive for around $269 a month with 0 due at signing. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Sign, drive, and leave your checkbook at home. That's an American Revolution. Or see your Chevy dealer about 0% financing during the Chevy 72-hour sale.
At 6, Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report with John Caron and Dennis Eckersley. They'll preview Kurt Schillingstadt, and Gary DiZarcina will join 2 other Bellrica Mass natives, Tom Glavine and Tom Fitzgerald of the Bruins. Plus Bob Ryan and Dan Shaughnessy with the latest news. It's all tomorrow night at 6, live in HD, and it's right here on NESN.
Gabe Kapler takes over defensively in right field for the Red Sox. Nixon out of the game, and Willie Harrison left, giving Manny Ramirez the rest of the night off. Well, the Red Sox on top 10-1. And Josh Beckett back out on the mound for the 7th inning. He's given up only 3 hits and the 1 run, the home run by Carlos Delgado in the 4th inning. To third base, Lowell able to pick it. Lowell throw dug out by Youkilis on the other side. David Wright's retired.
Well, Bellrica should be very proud of some of the athletes that have come out of that town. As you see the taping yesterday of the Gary DiZarcina along with Tom Glavine, Gerald.
Some Bellrica talk.
Talking Bellrica. Tom Glavine, of course, a very good hockey player.
This is hit well to right off the bat of Jose Valentin. Back goes Kapler, and it's into the bullpen. Second home run allowed by Josh Beckett tonight. The first by Carlos Delgado. Jose Valentin takes him deep. The 8th home run of the year for Valentin, and it's 10-2 Boston.
All home runs for Valentin have come from the left side of the plate. That might have been a changeup from Josh Beckett, and Valentin hooks it into the Red Sox bullpen.
Well, for Valentin, his 5th career home run here at Fenway Park. He was a former member of the Chicago White Sox. Here's Andy Chavez, who struck out looking in the 3rd, singled to center field in the 5th. Chavez last year played for Washington and Philadelphia. Prior to that, 3 seasons in Montreal. First reached the big leagues in 2001 as the member of the Kansas City Royals. Grabbed by a fan leaning over the tarp. Foul off to the left, still 1-2. Former Red Sox pitcher Chad Bradford in the Mets bullpen. As the Mets able to get to 3 innings of relief from Darren Oliver, who's very good in the first 2 innings, retiring all 6 Red Sox that he faced. Boston getting to him for 2 runs in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Chopped out towards Gonzalez on the move. Able to throw out Chavez. Let's check in with Tom Caron. Tom.
It's our New England Toyota dealer game break rubber game of the 3-game set this afternoon between the Yankees and the Braves. A 2-run walk-off homer for A-Rod from the bottom of the 12th off Jorge Sosa. A-Rod's been getting hammered in New York for not being clutch. He came through in the clutch today. Yankees win. Guys.
Thanks, TC. It is now 3 games. These standings are actually at the beginning of the day. 3-game lead for the Red Sox. I wonder if that'll get some of the Yankees fans off A-Rod, who heard some boos as the game went on today. Ends up with the walk-off.
Well, he was in a 2-for-20 slump, and then of course had that home run. It'll help.
May not be enough.
I mean, it can't hurt. It has to help some.
Castro waiting on an 0-1. It's time now for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. It's not just a store, it's an experience. Visit them in Natick, Avon, and Nashua. On to the count to Ramon Castro. Beckett has surrendered home runs to Carlos Delgado tonight. Jose Valentin. The 2 runs that the Mets have. Red Sox 9-4 winners here last night. It's the first meeting between the Red Sox and the Mets since July 14th of 2001. And that was at Shea Stadium. John Lester able to get through 5 last night and grab the win. Beckett with his 6th strikeout. It's now a 10-2 Boston lead. Time for a Sports Desk update with Hazelman.
Don, thank you. Hi again, everybody. Coming up tonight on Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, distributor of plumbing and heating supplies since 1866. The Celtics acquire Sebastian Telfair for the 7th pick in this year's draft, and the Bruins will introduce a new head coach. We'll tell you who it is. That's tonight after Red Sox postgame coverage. Back to the ballgame after this short timeout.
You've seen how they play.
There we go. Oh, big puppy!
Now see how they live.
What's up, y'all? This is David Ortiz.
With AT&T Home Turf. Visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
Know the score before the game. Tune in. Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report for analysis, player features, commentary, and more. Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report 1 hour before game time on Nesson.
Don't take the drumstick. Don't take the drumstick. Another drumstick? Magic bucket. Wow.
Pick up a 10-piece bucket of KFC drumsticks and thighs. The juiciest, most flavorful chicken, now just $7.99. Get more flavor to savor at KFC. And for lunch, don't forget to try the new KFC Famous Bowls.
It's here and it's big. The Ford Model Year Clearance. F-150, Ranger, and Super Duty. Built Ford tough. Now drive on us with 0% financing, plus we'll pay for your gas until 2007. That's 0% financing, plus we pay for your gas. Now during the Ford Model Year Clearance.
AC/DC on the Dunkin' Donuts musical montage. And a great job by Ted Carey as always on the Dunkin' Donuts musical montage. 10-2. Red Sox on top into the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher on for the Mets. It's Chad Bradford.
Bradford's 34th appearance for the Mets. 3-2 record. All appearances out of the bullpen. .216 batting average against. And you see the numbers last year with the Red Sox in 31 games, a 2-1 record, 3.86 ERA.
Well, Darren Oliver able to soak up 3 innings in relief of the Mets starter tonight, Pedro Martinez. As Oliver went 3 innings, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And Gabe Kapler went around, says home plate umpire Marty Foster. Kapler coming into the game to take over defensively for Trot Nixon last inning. Nixon had a hit and a couple of RBIs tonight. Kapler, it's a soft liner, foul ground. Delgado can't get there.
Now, Don, if I might, I know we have a big audience tonight. I think it'd be a good time to announce this. The Remy Report is going to be teaming up with Mass General Hospital and Brigham and Women's Hospital during the All-Star break, July 11th through the 14th. For blood drive. And again, you'll get autographed for Rem Dog t-shirts, a chance to win 2 tickets to a Red Sox game if you show. So mark those dates down, the 11th through the 14th at Mass General and also Brigham and Women's. And we had great success and a couple of blood drives over at Mount Auburn in Cambridge. So trying to help out as many hospitals as we can. I think in Mount Auburn we triple the amount of blood that they normally get. Not we did, but we certainly helped. I hope we get the message out, and something that the hospitals really appreciate.
Delgado at first base handles it to retire Kapler. So how many more hospitals do you think you'll get to, or is this just the beginning of where you're headed with this?
We're going to go to as many as we can, and if they're interested, they can certainly contact us at the Remy Report, and if we can help out, we certainly will. But the next 2 in the All-Star break, the 11th through the 14th, Mass General and Brigham and Women's, and that should bring hopefully. They're always looking for blood. They always need blood. They never can have enough. And hopefully in a little way we can help out by getting the word out.
Well, you've done great work with that, and wish you well again with the All-Star break. Varitek taking the pitch inside. Jason, a couple hits tonight, 2 for 3.
They had Bradford with the submarine style from the right side. You had Myers with the submarine style from the left side. On the same pitching staff a year ago. Now both pitching in New York, but for different teams.
He's been very good. He hasn't allowed a run since May 18th against the Cardinals. Too far inside to Jason Varitek. 3-1 the count. Mike Lowell waits on deck with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ball 4 and a 1-out walk for Jason Varitek. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Olympia Sports, the place for the best in Adidas soccer gear. Heineken and by Hyundai. What's going on here with Tim McClellan into the Mets dugout? Varitek reaching at first base on a walk. I don't know if somebody was barking from the Mets dugout or not, but McClellan peering in at the plate last night in the first game of the series. So we're going to miss for Lowell. See if we can pick anything up here.
Well, the way he went to the set position is apparently about Bradford to make sure that he stops or he's going to be calling a balk.
Little check swing dribbler that ends up foul down the first baseline.
Twice you could see McCullen taking those hands into the set position and maybe warning the dugout that he doesn't like what he's seeing right here, and maybe when he comes in the dugout tell him to make sure he comes to a complete stop. That's Rick Peterson, the pitching coach for the New York Mets, former pitching coach of the Oakland Athletics.
And tomorrow night's starter, Tom Glavine
from Bellrica.
What has been a great year for Tom Glavine. It's interesting, when Ron Darling was along with us, he was saying that Questek had really messed up Tom Glavine. I don't think he was alone in that category. Has certainly changed some things for some pitchers, but Tom Glavine relies on the outside corners and everywhere else.
Well, in all fairness, and this to take nothing away from Tom Glavine, but when Javi Lopez would sit 3 feet outside, and if he'd hit the glove, it'd be a strike. You know. I mean, they got that kind of reputation in the National League. He and Maddox.
Down to third. David Wright to second for 1 on to first base, and the double play that goes around the horn that ends the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch, 10-2, Boston on top.
Driver's license number, make and model, number of drivers, VIN number, submit. No.
Hey, think easier. Think Progressive. We give you our direct rate for car insurance plus the rates of other top companies instantly. Go to Progressive.com.
Have a good day, honey.
Bye, honey.
I gotta go. See you guys later.
There's nothing routine about it. the 8-passenger Pilot from Honda.
If you're smart enough to want a Volkswagen, there are quite a few places you can get one. But at Montesi, we've been selling only Volkswagen since before the Beatles came to America. And we've made our one location the easiest place to buy and service a Volkswagen anywhere. You'll find more parking spots to welcome you and expanded service hours that work around your schedule. And we believe since we keep these people happy, they'll keep you happy. It's no wonder we're the dealer of choice.
Homer wants you to check out the new kids' meals at American Steakhouse. 6 great kid-friendly platters to choose from like Nelly Nuggets, Steedy Steak, and Robbie's Ribs. And at these prices, how can you say no? Kids know where to bring their parents to American Steakhouse, the home of Connecticut's favorite kids menu of ribs, burgers, nuggets, steak, shrimp, and hot dogs. And parents love American Steakhouse for their award-winning baby back ribs with their famous barbecue sauce. American Steakhouse, the right food, right price, right now.
And certainly interesting between innings. Tim McCullen going over to the dugout. It seems like he was trying to help out the Mets. Now here you see Bradford as he does not stop. He just comes and makes that delivery. That obviously there's no stop there. And I think, you know, instead of calling the balk in this ball game, he just warned the dugout, look, make sure he stops. He had a conversation with Bradford. Now he really gets into it with Peterson, pointing his finger at him. And this gets a little bit heated. Randolph has to step in the middle. I don't quite get it. It just seems to me that McCullen was trying to help them out, to notify Bradford he's got to stop or he's going to have to call a balk on him. I mean, suppose this was a 1-0 game, you know, and he had to call a balk. So to me, it seems like McCullen's trying to help him out, and for some reason, Peterson took exception to that.
Well, Lastings Millage leading it off. Bradford did get involved there for a moment, and then he was sent down the steps, and that's when Rick Peterson got more involved with Tim McClellan. Reach in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Lastings Millage struck out tonight and fly to right. Swing and a miss, and a tough night for Lastings Millage. 7 strikeouts for Josh Beckett.
This is back-to-back outstanding performances for Josh Beckett. Again, a very good curveball tonight to pick up the strikeout. Second time he's got Millage on the strikeout with the curveball tonight. So flying under the radar for the last couple of days has been Josh Beckett, and he has really been on top of his game. Couple of home runs, but solo home runs.
Reyes hits one in the air out towards left center. Over goes Willie Harris to make the catch. 2 down.
Don't ever be late for a Sox game again. Get your Rainbows Over Fenway wall clock, available now at the Boston Globe store. It makes a great gift. Order now at bostonglobestore.com or call 888-665-2667. It's a good idea. You know what? You never be late again. You get that Rainbows Over Fenway wall clock.
You got to get one to put it next to your big TV.
Hey,
there's room.
I made a decision today. I got it.
How big are we going?
I have the Tweeter people came in. They looked at the room, all their expertise, and they suggested I get the 70-inch Sony TV.
70 inches.
With surround sound and a woofer. You know what a woofer is?
I have no idea what a woofer is.
A subwoofer. It gives you that real bass sound. So
different than a regular woofer.
I can't wait to get off this next road trip.
Now, how are they going to get it in if the room's not big enough? I mean, you're going to have an expansion. What are we going to have to do to get this thing in?
No, I'm not going to be there, so they could knock a wall down if they have to. But they were very good. They came in and, you know, they tell you what you need and where you need it, and one remote.
So handle the whole thing. I know that was the biggest issue. It wasn't necessarily the size of the television, but the one remote thing was big. Kapler over to play it. Paul LaDuca is headed for his second base, and the throw from Kapler is a good one, but LaDuca's in. Himself a 2-out double, and just the 5th hit of the night for the Mets off Josh Beckett.
You know what else is good
besides the subwoofer?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean to watch on TV.
Yeah.
The Red Sox, you know, we play the Red Sox game in 2 at midnight.
Yeah.
And now with the NESN on HD all the time, the replay is in HD. So actually last night I went home and I was able to watch a little bit of the replay in HD, which before you couldn't do that.
What would happen before when?
Well, before it would go from the HD station back to the regular NESN station, but now NESN is on HD all the time, 24 hours a day. So even the replay of the game is in HD.
Oh. Did you actually give the inches? I'm sorry. Are you up to 70 inches that you're going with as far as your screen now?
70, yeah.
70. That's going to be big enough.
And I'm only going to be about 12 feet away from it. It's going to be beautiful. Hey, don't look now, but we got trouble behind us.
Oh my goodness.
Wally and what's the Mets guy's name?
Mr. Met.
Mr. Met. Mr. Met.
Mr. Met.
How are you, Mr. Met? Look at this. Guys are on TV. What's the tinfoil over here on the wall?
That's our brand new camera, which is deflecting.
Mr. Met flew down on the shuttle today from New York, LaGuardia.
One sent foul off to the left, and it's 2-2 now to Carlos Beltran.
Took up 3 seats, 2 for his body, 2 for his head. Actually 4 seats.
Just came in for the TV time and left.
That's all. Yeah. That's the real one right there. Not
calling that one a fraud. 2-2 the count to Carlos Beltran with LeDuc at second base. And a full count now to Beltran. He's at 98 right now, up over the average. For 112 pitches against the Texas Rangers back on June 11th. That's the high water mark. And he chopped down the first baseline, foul towards the tarp, and it is a full count. This gentleman has made his second catch of the night leaning over the tarp. I mean, leave something for somebody else. That corner used to be third base, now down by the tarp. He's made some good plays down there. 3-2 count to Carlos Beltran. Not this time. What a nice grab on the hop.
Oh, that was a pretty nice play in traffic, wasn't it?
He was screened a little bit. Off of Veritek, full count to Carlos Beltran, who stays alive. Dunkin' Donuts is in its 7th year of hosting local youth groups and charitable organizations in the Dunkin' Dugout, a special seating section at Fenway. Thousands of children have had the opportunity to catch a Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming for Carlos Beltran. He sends another foul fly off to the right. 95 from Beckett, so not losing anything velocity wise.
No, right here, Don, he's trying to end this outing for him with a strikeout. Beltran is making it tough for him.
This one fouled off. Well, Josh Beckett, 122 career games, has gone 8 innings 9 times in his career. Seems a little low with all the success that he's had, but that's the case.
I remember too, a lot of those games were in the National League. You know, a lot of times if you're behind in a ball game by a run or two, they got a pinch hit for you.
changes the entire dynamic.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch again to Carlos Beltran, and he fouls off yet another pitch. Not going quietly for Josh Beckett. Not been a fun series so far for Willie Randolph. The foul fly off to the left. Josh Beckett with 7 strikeouts tonight through 7 2/3. 3-2. Doesn't chase and finally walks him. Down to first base goes Beltran. Quite an at bat for Carlos Beltran, and unfortunately for Beckett, that'll be the last pitch he'll throw.
Trying to put a changeup in there after all those fastballs that were fouled off. He tried a changeup on the 3-2 count, and Beltran had a heck of an at bat right there. This will be a good ovation, a great ovation for Beckett.
The thing is, everyone wants to save money on their car insurance. You asking if they want a free Geico quote's like asking if they want free pie and chips. Of course they want free pie and chips. It's pie with chips for free. But pie and chips, you can get them anywhere. Geico quotes, made from scratch, just for you. Only at geico.com.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hi, I'm Rowan from Off Track Betting. When we opened Off Track Betting over 25 years ago, someone asked, "Are you going to sell waterbeds?" I said, "Cool." But first we bought one for ourselves. We still sleep on a waterbed today, just not the same one. They've certainly changed. Waterbeds may look like other mattresses, but they've evolved into a sophisticated sleep system, allowing you to adjust both the firmness and the temperature for your individual comfort. Now that's cool. Visit one of our 15 convenient locations. Off Track Betting, the lowest prices every night.
It knows over 7 million points of interest. And now, so do you. The Acura TL with satellite link technology.
For a limited time, take advantage of 2.9% financing on all 2006 Acura models.
This game summary is brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. Well, a very strange beginning for Pedro Martinez tonight with runners at first and second. Big Papi sent one back to him. He looked at third, looked to second, and sort of lost his sorts there for a bit. He was able to get Ortiz at first base, but a very tough first inning. 4 runs for the Red Sox, and then Alex Gonzalez would take him deep as part of a 4-run third inning and chase Pedro from the game after allowing 8 runs. On the other side, Josh Beckett outstanding tonight as he ends up going 7 2/3 innings. And a very nice effort for Beckett, who has 7 strikeouts in the game tonight. So he leaves responsible for runners at first and second. Red Sox going to the bullpen, and this call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local Ford store. Every journey begins with a bold move. Start your journey today by visiting your local Ford store. The new pitcher for the Red Sox, Javier Lopez.
7th appearance for Lopez. 4 innings, 1 hit allowed, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. His last outing coming against Philadelphia on the 26th. And the numbers over the last 3 games.
He faces Carlos Delgado, who has a home run tonight. So he homered off Beckett back in the 4th inning. One of 2 home runs surrendered by Beckett. As Jose Valentin homered in the 7th, supplying the only 2 runs the Mets have so far tonight. And bat in the 8th with 2 down. The Duke at second, Beltran at first. 5th time already for Carlos Delgado that he has homered in back-to-back games this season. As he took Lester deep last night, and tonight taking Josh Beckett out. A strike from Lopez, and it's 1-2. Down low, 2-2. Josh Beckett tonight throwing 106 pitches. As he got the first 2 outs of this 8th inning, and then the double to LaDuca, the walk to Beltran after a very long at bat. And no reason to push it any further. An 8-run Red Sox lead right now. Swing and a miss. Lopez gets the job done. Strikes out Delgado. It's a 10-2 Boston lead into the bottom of the 8th.
Let's go for a ride, feel the sunshine. Let's go for a ride, it's summertime.
Toyota's summer sales event is on. So ride off with a great deal on a rugged 4Runner. Right now, you could save with 0% financing on any 4Runner. Or you could save on a 4Runner with $1,500 cash back. Or check out the extraordinarily styled FJ Cruiser. Don't miss your chance to save. Toyota's summer sales event ends soon. Toyota, moving forward.
You know, Stan, I was thinking.
Here comes the light.
With all the stuff they do, how do those Ricoh high-volume copiers stay so dependable?
You add paper, Jerry.
Oh, right.
Move your ideas forward with Ricoh dependability.
People, when they find out what I do for a living, they say, so, you brew beer? And I'm like, yeah, and we taste every day. And they always just say, oh, you must absolutely love your job. How do I get to be a Samuel Adams taster? Yeah, it's just one of the perks of the job.
Pick up a 10-piece bucket of KFC drumsticks and thighs. The juiciest, most flavorful chicken, now just $7.99. And don't forget to try new KFC famous bowls. Get more flavor to savor at KFC.
For over 65 years, Jeep has traveled over granite, sand, mud, and snow as one of the most capable SUV brands in the world. Now, Jeep is the #1 selling SUV in the Northeast, the #1 full-size SUV, and the #1 midsize SUV in the country. In the Northeast, you go with the #1 selling brand, a true American legend, Jeep. Qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease select Commanders for $269 a month with 0 down and $269 due at signing, or get 0% financing for 60 months.
Stay tuned after the game for WB Mason's Extra Innings and Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra with Tom Caron and Dennis Eckersley. They'll have all the post-game reaction, including Josh Beckett and Pedro Martinez comments. Plus, Jack Welch will join TC and Eck from a fan's perspective. It's all right after the game, and it's right here on NESN.
Well, we head to the last half of the 8th inning. 10-2 Boston lead. New pitcher on is Pedro Feliciano.
Feliciano making his 31st appearance, all of those out of the bullpen. 28 innings, 23 hits, and 27 strikeouts. Only 5 walks. Opponents have hit .219 off Feliciano.
Coco Crisp leading it off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chad Bradford worked the 7th inning. And after a 1-out walk to Jason Varitek, got Mike Lowell round into an inning-ending double play. Outside, 2-1 now to Coco Crisp. Tom Glavine pitching in the ball game tomorrow night. Total of 11 wins on the season. To lead the major leagues, a win tonight for Josh Beckett, who's in line to get a victory tonight. And he's the first Red Sox pitcher to gather 10. He would tie Kenny Rogers, who has 10, and that's the high mark right now in the American League. Rogers has enjoyed his time in Detroit. Coco Crisp hits a leadoff walk to begin things here in the 8th. So Crisp aboard and brings up Alex Gonzalez.
On your screen to the left of Willie Randolph, that was Sandy Alomar. Of course, the father of Sandy Alomar Jr., Robbie Alomar, former second baseman in the major leagues.
Alex Gonzalez been on twice tonight. A home run back in the 3rd, a walk in the 6th. After the ground out to short in the 2nd. The Tapper sent foul, still 0-2 to Gonzalez. Outside, 1-2. Gonzalez sending it to right, and Chavez over to make the catch for the first out of the inning, and back to first goes Crisp.
Now the bullpen has actually done a pretty good job tonight for the New York Mets, giving up just the 2 additional runs. Too much Josh Beckett for the Red Sox to keep this pretty potent Mets lineup quiet.
106 pitches for Beckett tonight, 7 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, and struck out 7. Here's Kevin Youkilis as the Red Sox top of the order coming up with 1 out and Crisp at first base. A couple of hits tonight for Youkilis, both singles. Pedro Martinez tonight going the 3 innings, giving up 8 runs. Darren Oliver gave up a couple in his 3 innings. Chad Bradford for an inning, and now Pedro Feliciano pitching for the Mets in the 8th.
Was it back in Detroit where Youkilis could hit on that elbow with the pitch?
Yes. Yeah.
Long time ago, and he's stuck with that guard on his elbow since that time. He's been hitting well, so why not stay with it?
Line to center field, and continues to hit well. His 3rd hit of the night as Crisp moves up to second base on the single for Kevin Youkilis. Now, if he had gone into a slump with that thing on his arm, I bet you that thing would have gone pretty quicker.
Don, I'll bet you that he'd gone 2 games without a hit, and that thing on his arm, you'd never see it again. It's just the way it is.
It's 1st and 2nd with 1 down here in the 8th. Here's Mark Loretta. Speaking of getting hit, he was hit by Pedro Martinez back in the 2nd inning. 1 for 3 showing so far tonight. Single and scored a run in the 1st. To Loretta.
I mentioned Youkilis being hot with the 3 hits tonight. Only twice this season has he gone back-to-back games without a hit. And you got to go back to April when that happened. And that is. That means you're sleeping pretty good. You know, when you go like 5 games, no, you don't sleep. Bad sleep.
Feliciano thought he had the outside corner. Eddie Foster says it's a ball, 1-2. Action in the Red Sox pen. Manny Del Carmen is up. Javier Lopez came on to face Carlos Delgado and struck him out to end the 8th inning. Getting out of a 1st and 2nd jam. Foul to the right, still 1-2.
Well, Baltimore is beating Philadelphia down in Baltimore tonight. So regardless of what happens here, the Mets probably wouldn't lose any ground. The Phillies, who are 11.5 games behind the New York Mets. The Marlins have moved up to 12 games. They're in 3rd place ahead of Atlanta and Washington.
They're playing great baseball. Red Sox to see them over the weekend. Loretta skies one out towards left center field. Back go Beltran, and Beltran will make the catch running onto the track. And back to second goes Crisp, with Youkilis to first with 2 down. The pinch hitter for David Ortiz coming up. Doug Mirabelli is going to get an at bat. Jerry, I've never been to the Florida Marlins home stadium, and I understand that it's perhaps more of a football stadium than a baseball stadium.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I think if you ask any one of these guys that have played there, it's not a good baseball stadium. It's a good football stadium. They do the best they possibly can, but actually our conditions aren't bad. But we do a game, so.
Yeah. Is it in Miami or is it outside? Where is
no, it's out. It's, well, I don't know if it's in the city limits, but it's not downtown. It's about a good 30-minute ride from where we'll be staying. I forget exactly the name of where it is.
There you go. They'll check it first. No, says Fielding Culbra.
I'll tell you, I remember one whacked out thing they had there when you used to have to pay a toll to leave the game.
What?
I'm telling you. I got in the car. I couldn't believe it. All these cars are leaving the game, and there's toll booths. Just didn't make sense to me.
So maybe you don't pay on the way in, but you pay on the way out as far as the parking goes. Maybe they get you on the back end. Maybe that's what it is.
No, you pay for parking too, but you had to pay a toll to come out. Now I'm thinking about applying for one of those fast passes, a fast lane.
So we don't have to do that at all this weekend.
Right out.
May not be worth it for 3 games though if you got to pay the whole month.
No, for me it's worth it. If you saw those lines.
Really?
Yeah.
Morabelli pops it up, foul ground. Delgado over by the first base coach's box, puts it away, and it ends the inning. We head to the top of the 9th. It's 10-2. Red Sox on top.
Every texture, every line, every nuance. Created with one thing in mind. An entirely new ES, the Lexus ES 350. At your Hartford New Haven Lexus dealer.
Service, selection, savings. Bernie's brings it home. This big holiday week, everything at Bernie's is on sale. Get into Bernie's for washers starting at just $1.99. GE refrigerators starting at only $3.99. Bernie's has the air conditioner you're looking for, and they're all on sale. Save on Serta. All Serta mattresses are on sale. Bernie's has the 42-inch Hitachi HD plasma monitor for just $17.76. This holiday week at Bernie's, everything is on sale. Bernie's brings it home.
And what's 900 King?
That's me. I don't lose.
Sports betting's illegal, but what we do is not. The more they bet, the more we win.
They know everything about gambling.
Know these teams better than they know themselves.
All he does is pick winners.
Except when to stop.
Winning's a funny thing.
This Friday.
You have to get out. He will ride you into the ground.
That's pushing it too far. There's no such thing as too far.
2 for the money.
This is dangerous territory.
Rated R. In theaters Friday.
I get what I want
It's here and it's big. The Ford Model Year Clearance.
And that works for me.
Escape, freestyle, explore, and expedition, taking you beyond expectations. Now drive on us with 0% financing plus we'll pay for your gas until 2007. That's 0% financing plus we pay for your gas. Now during the Ford Model Year Clearance.
Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Bernie and Phil's Furniture, Aflac, Coors Light, Pepsi, your New England Toyota dealer, Citgo, and by Southwest Airlines. 10-2. The Red Sox on top as we head to the top half of the ninth inning. Some reshuffling for the Red Sox defense. A new battery. Doug Mirabelli into the game to the catch for Jason Varitek. And the new pitcher for the Red Sox, Manny Del Carmen, third pitcher of the night.
16th appearance overall for Del Carmen. 20 hits in 16 innings, 11 strikeouts and 7 walks. Opponents hitting .317. His last outing Monday against the Phillies, inning in a third in that ball game.
First face, David Wright, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game tonight. Javier Lopez faced one batter in the 8th who struck out Delgado.
By the way, I'm told that Joe Robbie Stadium, I think it's Joe Robbie still, I'm not sure.
I think it's Dolphin Stadium.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
It is in the Miami city limits, but it's not downtown Miami. Plus, it'll be a big weekend for you, Don. You get to hang out in South Beach with all the celebrities.
That's all right. Is that where we're going to be? We're going to be in South Beach?
That's where you're going to be.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Never know who you're going to run into down there.
Right.
You probably go over Shaq's house.
Haven't seen Shaq in a while.
Bring your camera if you do.
Swing and a miss. David Wright. And Del Carmen at 96 miles per hour in that last pitch to Wright. Elevated at 95 and he strikes out David Wright. First out here of the ninth.
Well, the Red Sox have kept David Wright in check in this series. 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 4 tonight after 3 ground ball outs, a strikeout on a high fastball from Manny Del Carmen. So the Red Sox have done a good job against guys like Reyes, who does not have a hit yet in the series. Certainly Wright does not have one. Some of their biggest hitters and some of their hottest hitters coming into the series.
And the Red Sox offensive attack has been outstanding in the first 2 games of the series and what has been a great stretch overall for the Red Sox. Jose Valentin and a home run off Josh Beckett, last time up in the 7th. Oh, 0-2 quickly to Valentin. Fly ball out towards left center field. Willie Harris moving over and back a few steps. A late adjustment, but he's there to make the catch, and there's 2 down.
Big lead in the ball game, and Del Carmen able to use his pitches through a changeup that time to Valentin. It stayed up in the zone a little bit, but the result was good with the fly ball out.
So a 2 down in the 9th inning for Endy Chavez. He struck out in the 3rd, single to center in the 5th, and bounced to short in the 7th. Opposite field line drive. It's going to get in for a hit and head to the corner. Willie Harris over to dig it out. And Chavez into second base with a 2-out double. Well, the league leaders are brought to you by Olympia Sports. And the Red Sox about to get their 11th win in a row. Major League highs this season. 10 games tied with the Athletics. Moved ahead of them. And 4 teams tied at 9 straight. The Red Sox about to take their 11th in a row. Stretch that began against the Atlanta Braves for 3, the Washington Nationals for 3, the Philadelphia Phillies who took 3 from him, and the first 2 of this series against the Mets if they can hold on tonight. Ramon Castro, a single in the 3rd inning. Since then, a couple of strikeouts in the 5th and again in the 7th. Again up top at 95, and he's ahead 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Just missing. Framed by Marabelli. And the breaking ball that time.
With the crowd standing and the game the way it is, it's hard for the umpire not to call that a strike.
A 1-2 pitch from Del Carmen. Up top, and it evens up now at 2-2. Outside, the full count now. Manny had been ahead 0-2. Castro being patient.
A smirk on the face of Manny Del Carmen. I think he thought he had 2 curveballs for strikes in this at bat. Apparently the last one missing outside.
Chavez at second, 2 down. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. The Red Sox win. Del Carmen striking out Castro to end the ball game, and the Red Sox have won 11 straight. As Josh Beckett picks up his 10th win of the year, he moves to 10-3 with a win here tonight, and it's the longest winning streak for the Red Sox since August of '95 when they won 12 straight. A 10-2 Red Sox win tonight behind some great offense, including the home run by Gonzalez, who's homered in back-to-back nights as he picks up his 5th home run of the year. And the Red Sox in impressive fashion beating Pedro Martinez tonight, as Pedro will fall to 7-4 on the season with the loss. We'll step aside and come back with more after this from Fenway.
At Middletown Nissan, right in the middle with you.
This building's big and it's going to get done fast. And the more room the boss has, the more cars he's going to buy. And no one buys for less. Therefore, you guys pay less. But right now, Dave, you got to get these cars out of my way.
You got it, Fred.
Like this nicely equipped 06 Altima starting under $16,000, or this well-equipped 06 Murano starting under $26,000.
Let them beat those prices.
At Middletown Nissan, right in the middle with you.
Tonight, do the mojito with the refreshingly cool taste of the Bacardi Mojito.
Take the Hyundai Challenge during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Test drive the sedan that beats Honda Accord. The new Hyundai Sonata with more standard safety features and interior space than Accord. Great fuel mileage and America's best warranty for $4,500 less than Accord. Now save even more, up to $3,000 cash back on Sonata. There's never been a better time to save thousands during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Get a new Sonata V6 with up to $3,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer. Offer ends July 4th.
You've seen how they play.
Here we go. Oh, big puppy.
Now see how they live.
What's up, y'all? This is David Ortiz.
With AT&T Home Turf. Visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
This is a story where a car takes on greater intelligence, acquires the ability to provoke and inspire, and ultimately learns how to make the heart race. An entirely new ES, the Lexus ES 350. At your Hartford New Haven Lexus dealer.
And the win streak continues for the Red Sox with an easy 10-2 win. The play of the game is brought to you by Foxwoods Resort Casino. It was supposed to be Pedro Martinez's night, but it was Josh Beckett's night. 7 big strikeouts in the game. Beckett becomes the first 10-game winner on the Red Sox this season and helps the Red Sox continue their long winning streak.
$11 in a row for the Red Sox. They win tonight 10-2. For Jerry Remy and Tina Cervasio, I'm Don Orsillo saying good night from Fenway. Log on to NESN.com, the ultimate destination for scores, news, video, and analysis. This has been a presentation of NESN, New England's most watched sports network. It's time now for WB Mason's Extra Innings with Tom Caron and Dennis Eckersley.
Well, thank you, Don. This was a night we're supposed to say thanks for the memories to Pedro Martinez. Instead, we're daydreaming about the future here with Josh Beckett.
Oh, I think this game was over after the error in left field in the first inning, because some of the pitches that Pedro was making, he'd have to come up with some magic and hurry in the second inning, and it just didn't happen. Then they got 4 more, and this game was over.
It's obviously not the same Pedro we saw for 7 years, and he needs to be a little intimidating, a little angry, and he couldn't be at Fenway Park. I think that's what this comes down to. All right, we'll show you Pedro's quick exit and show you the long, impressive work from Josh Beckett, the first 10-game winner of the Red Sox. A 10-2 win, 11 in a row from Boston.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Bernie and Phil's Furniture. Quality, comfort, and price, and the best furniture values in New England.
It's here and it's big. The Ford Model Year Clearance. F-150, Ranger, and Super Duty. Built Ford tough. Now drive on us with 0% financing, plus we'll pay for your gas until 2007. That's 0% financing plus we pay for your gas. Now during the Ford Model Year Clearance.
Typically, you might expect to see our trucks sloshing through mud, roaring up and down hills, or handling heavy loads. But consider this. These trucks are all made by Honda, the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. A very good reason to look at them in a whole new way. Get an even closer look at your Honda dealer.
No one to play with. Play online at partypoker.net, the world's largest poker school. More players, more tables, more winners. Sign up now to partypoker.net, the best place to learn how to win.
All right, okay.
It's supposed to be about the pitching matchup. Instead, it was another night where we pay tribute to the Red Sox offense. Pedro Martinez could just watch in disbelief as the Red Sox crank out 10 runs on 10 hits and now have an 11-game winning streak, their longest in 11 years. Welcome to WB Mason's Extra Innings, everyone. Tom Caron along with Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. This is unbelievable. I mean, the Mets come to town with the best ERA in the National League, And the Red Sox have scored 19 runs in 2 games.
You know, I'm waiting for like lights out game, back and forth, Beckett and Pedro, and Pedro came out flat. His arm was kind of flat. Everything was flat. His fastball wasn't there. You know, he tries to paint a little bit because he has to throw his changeup off his fastball. No fastball, bad location, a couple spin balls he threw. Home run to Gonzalez to top the whole night off. But right away, Jump Street, they were on top of him. And in the first inning, right away, bang, bang, base hit, and he was in trouble.
Well, this was supposed to be all Pedro all the time. He didn't pitch long enough for it to be all Pedro all the time. We will certainly look at what the Red Sox were able to do against this great pitcher to win their 11th straight game. We'll have reaction from both pitchers tonight. Jack Welch will join us here in studio in just a little bit. But the Red Sox jumped out on Pedro early. It all starts with Youkilis and Loretta. They're both hitting, Youkilis 318, Loretta 317, an 11-game hitting streak. Set the table, and eventually they come around.
He's a lousy little spin ball to Youkilis, base hit up the middle, and a fastball that looks like not much of a fastball. And Loretta hits the ball to right field like he can do. And then all of a sudden he gets a breaking ball hit right back to him, but there's a shift on, and he doesn't know what to do with this ball. You know, you think that when he gets this ball back real quick, this is a double play ball. But I got to give him a break. You know, they have this shift on. He didn't know where to throw it. You know, he should have 2 outs right there. That would have helped him in that inning because a lot more is to come.
Is that not a case where maybe his head's not completely in the right place?
Yeah, I'd like to say that, but how many guys do you shift like that? You know, you're not expecting a ball to come back to you like that. It's like, you know, it happens so fast. He looked at every base, and he still could have thrown a second and gotten the double play, but it is kind of a brain cramp.
All right, trouble continues because Manny's up, and he doesn't give Manny anything close to a pitch to feast on, and that's probably a smart move.
That might have been the smartest thing he did all night. Here's a fastball away. He didn't want to go after him right there. He finally gets Nixon, throws him a changeup. That's a sloppy changeup. You know, he's lucky that he gets this ball back, but it's a measly little sacrifice fly. That's not a big deal. But you can tell already he's not throwing the ball very well. You're just waiting for something to happen. Then he gets Veritek 2-2 and throws a hanging breaking ball, another spin ball about belt high, and he doesn't really get away with it. He could have got a ground ball right there, but he didn't get away with it.
And he should have been out of it here. This is the play of the game, really.
I think this is it. I mean, that's not even a good pitch, to tell you the honest truth. It's a fastball, and this is ridiculous. 2 nights in a row, and he clanks this ball off of his, I guess, off the heel of his glove. Last night, he didn't even come close to this, but at least tonight, as a pitcher, if you're going to box this ball, at least put a glove on it so I can get an error and not charge me 2 runs. But this is a huge error, especially when you got 2 pitchers like Pedro and Beckett going at it, and you give up 2 more runs like that, 4-0. I mean, that takes the air out of you. Not that Pedro had great stuff to begin with, but
maybe you survive that first inning and you regroup and you get it going. It could have been the double play, but certainly that ball should have been a fly ball to end it. And of course, Millage is the guy the Red Sox wanted when there was any talk about a big trade of the Mets for the offseason. Manny came back to Boston, which is very good news for the Red Sox. Starts off the 3rd inning with a double.
Yeah, he gets a changeup, 3-2 changeup for a strike, you know, and he's just sitting back. And this looks like something soft. Another changeup, 2-1. Nixon just is all over it. Everybody seems to be waiting back. It's like, you know, they're not impressed with his fastball at all. And here's a fastball right there. And he yanks that ball down the line. When you're lucky, you get balls hit right at people, but he didn't get away with anything, and he wasn't throwing anything. And then he walks. Look at that. That's sloppy. I mean, that's a 3-2 changeup. That is yucky. And then he throws a spin ball to Gonzalez, and he shouldn't get this ball back because that was brutal. And I'll tell you what, look at this ball right here. This is not Pedro. I don't know what this is. I think it's a breaking ball, but it's just, ugh. I mean, he just didn't have it tonight. And I mean, I felt sorry for him, to be honest with you. I mean, I was expecting so much. I maybe felt sorry for myself. I wanted a big game, but you got to feel sorry for Pedro.
That was the 75th and final pitch of the night, the shortest outing of the New York Mets. Beg your pardon, he did strike out Youkilis to end that 3rd inning, but you can see that was the shortest outing ever by the Mets. 3 innings, 6 of the 8 runs he gave up were earned as he suffers the loss and goes to 7-4. He's our Sovereign Bank player profile. His first start against a former team, well, as you can see, not so good tonight. Against the Expos with the Red Sox, he didn't give up a run. He gave up a couple of earned runs with the Expos against the Dodgers after he was moved. That was early. That was before Pedro was Pedro. You know, and I still say, and he said, what, a week or two ago, that he didn't really want to pitch in this series. We saw the emotion last night, and then we had that shot of the pregame show tonight as he was coming in from the bullpen, smiling, waving. That is not a classic Pedro day of preparation, and I think that hurt him.
Yeah, you'd think that the adrenaline would go towards your fastball, that you would make you throw the ball harder, but it just didn't work with Pedro. You have to think that part of this emotion played against him, because you can't, he's always kidding, but he's always serious when he takes the mound. But I don't care how serious you are, when you take the mound and you haven't got much stuff, he was going to have to get lucky tonight, and he just couldn't make a pitch, and they didn't let him get away with anything. And it was kind of sad because you hate to think of Pedro like that, but guess what? The Red Sox don't care. They're just trying to pound somebody else.
He'll go back to the National League and probably crank out a few more wins in that league. And we go back to Fenway Park right now. Check in with Tina Servasio.
Tom, thank you. Coming up, we'll hear from Kevin Youkilis and his thoughts on both facing Pedro and Josh Beckett's outing. You'll also hear from Josh Beckett, and we'll get Terry's take on the Red Sox 11th straight victory. But now let's head it back to our Nesson studios and check up on Sports Desk with Hazel May.
Hey, Tina. Hi, everybody. We've got lots of news for you. The Celtics make a big trade and a dramatic finish to the Yankees game at the Bronx. Those stories and more when I see you just around the corner. Right now, back over to Tom Karen, TC.
Hazel, thanks very much. Big ovation for Pedro at the start of the night, and a big ovation for the Red Sox at the end of the night. The Sox steal the headlines from their former pitcher with a big offensive attack.
Create the kitchen you want with the Electrolux Icon Professional Series. It's the only wall oven with smooth glide racks that fully extend, and gas cooktops with both power and precision burners. Electrolux Icon Professional Series, designed for the well-lived home.
Electrolux, available at New England Appliance, Route 44, Canton, Connecticut.
It doesn't hurt that, he has, one of the best looking faces in the game,
Ooh, that's a beautiful game.
He's infectious, that smile and the attitude. To me, he is the most clutch hitter in all of baseball.
He's just a great big teddy bear, and I love being his teammate.
Big Poppy, man, he's a special one, and it's a pleasure to play with him.
Subway Dinner Theater presents The Beast Within. Stomach studied in London. And now for dinner, Subway restaurants.
And the new Tuscan chicken, hot and fresh from the oven. Tender chicken, melted cheese, grilled vegetables on freshly baked bread.
Subway, eat fresh!
If you haven't seen the pregame show lately, you haven't seen the pregame show. You gotta check this out. Breaking it down and cutting it up 1 hour before game time. It's more than stats and highlights. Tune in for exclusive interviews and inside information from the Globe's top sports writers. Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report 1 hour before game time on Nesson. It's more than baseball, it's pregame.
Josh Beckett just sat down at the podium. Let's join the press conference live.
Count and that's when I got hurt. But the guys played great defense behind me again, and got some key outs.
Josh, is there a point when it's either Pedro or another great pitcher like that, the situation I was just described? Do you almost feel like the underdog, you're almost being overshadowed? Does that kind of boost you up a little bit and say, hey, I'm still pretty good too, and I got something to prove?
No. Like I said, I go out there with one thing in mind, that's executing pitches and getting outs. I'm not worried about, especially in the American League, because I don't even have to face him. My guys got to go out there and face him. In the National League, you have to face them when they're batting. But as far as pitching against them, you got to go out and focus on what you have to do and not worry about all the other stuff going on.
About being up 8-zip, you are more aggressive, take more chances.
Well, yeah, you're definitely going to try and pound the strike zone more, and just like that at bat to Beltran when we're up 10-2, and I mean here I am, I got 4 different pitches in my in my repertoire, and I just keep throwing the same one because we're up 10-2. I'm going to throw my highest probable pitch that I can throw for a strike. You don't want to walk him, and then walks like that end up being key to big innings.
What's your reaction to the crowd just kind of going nuts when they came out there?
Well, they went more nuts for Pedro than they did me, but like I said, I just go out there and try and do my job, help this team win, and I'm fortunate to get some big offense. Of course, on this little run that we've got put together, it seems like every night it's 7, 8, 9, 10 runs and 12 hits. These guys are unbelievable, and they battle those pitchers to where they have to throw a lot of pitches, and that's a testament of what kind of lineup we have, and they're pretty good.
How much respect do you have just for what Pedro's done in this game, just to be able to get that kind of reaction that he got tonight?
Well, I have the utmost respect for him. Just watching him pitch last year and pitching against him and stuff. It's just, he's phenomenal. He's kind of reinvented himself. He's not the 97, 98 anymore, and that's what guys come back to the dugout and they say, man, that guy really knows how to pitch. You can imagine how good he was when he threw 97, 98 miles an hour and still had that pitch ability and really knew how to pitch. He's Pedro Martinez, probably a Hall of Famer.
How would you judge and assess your start-to-start consistency over the last 3 starts, and especially compared to maybe the handful of starts before that?
I don't understand the question.
Have you felt as if you've been kind of able to execute your pitches more consistently, all of them, in the last few starts than before?
Yeah, I think the numbers definitely show that. I think more than anything, though, it's those situations. Some games I'm not getting myself in as many situations where I have to make a pitch, and then the games where you're getting yourself in those situations, those are the 4 or 5 pitches that you're going to have on most nights where you have to make a pitch, and I'm making those right now. Sometimes you don't. I don't know anybody that's went 35-0. I don't know. I guess we all have bad days sometimes.
Josh, Pedro now only faces American League lineup a handful of times a year. You've made the switch this year. How much more trying have you found facing AL lineups on a regular basis?
Well, it's a little bit different because they got some guys on the bench. There's certain National League teams that got some guys on the bench that they can DH in situations like tonight, and they can, it really makes a difference not having the 9th hole in there. A lot of National League teams have guys that maybe have a specific thing that they do well. Some of them run well, some of them play defense well, stuff like that. But in the American League, it's 1 through 9. You got some really good hitters hitting 8th and 9th for American League clubs.
All right, that was Josh Beckett. He is our Subaru star of the game, brought to you by the Subaru dealers of New England. All-wheel drive all year long, Field of Freedom. Josh Beckett, 7 2/3 innings. He wins his 3rd straight start. Tonight, giving up 5 hits, a couple of earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Economical, 106 pitches. Had a chance to finish off that 8th inning, came out, and Javier Lopez came in and got Delgado out with a couple on, which was a beautiful thing. 14 straight starts for Red Sox starters now. They've given up 3 or fewer runs, and he just keeps it on going.
And just like he said, he's had these starts have been like 7, 8, 9, 10 runs they've been scoring for the starter. And he looked good. I like the fact that he didn't walk anybody till late in the game. He gave up 2 meaningless home runs, but he looked good. The first couple of innings when he had to be. He had a 4-run lead. You see him punch out. I think that was a change-up, punch out Delgado, and a nasty hook to Valentin right there. He punched out 4 out of 5 guys in that 2nd and 3rd inning. There's a fastball that came back over for a strike, and then there's that hook. Not a really good one, but strike 3 looking. And then you see gas. So you see everything that he's got. Change-up, curveball, fastball inside, another high gas, and then there's that good hook right there. So, he got 7 punch-outs to walk 1 guy, but he had 8 runs to work with. He hasn't had any stress the last couple, even though he had a no-no going last game. He really had a lot of stress throws like Lester had last night in 2 innings. But next thing you know, this guy is 10-3. I mean, he's having a great year. You take away a couple of those bad games he's had, and I'll tell you what, he's had a great year.
And one very nice change. We spent a lot of the beginning of the season talking about his first inning troubles. Well, last start, first 16 batters. Tonight he comes in and gets the first 7 batters. Offense is going to get going the way it's been hitting. That's the way to start a game. You know, and that's the key for him. The key for him is the first inning. You know, and he got out of that first inning. I think Beltran hit a line drive to the second baseman to end it, but bang, he comes back out there with a 4 spot, and it's a totally different way of pitching with a 4 spot. And that's the way it's been for him at home. I mean, he's had something to work with. What was that, the highest probable pitch of getting a strike? I like
that's
that.
Good. I like that
that's
too.
Well thought out. Here's one for you real quickly. 24-8. That's the Red Sox record when Beckett and Schilling start. That's 16 games above 500. You want to toss in 3-0 for John Lester? They're 19 games above 500.
So the rest of the rotation starts getting it going, you know, Lester included. I mean, you're talking about trying to step away. It's easy for me to say. They can't say that. But they can start stepping away here as we go along before the All-Star break.
Pitching, and they've got the offense, and nobody's better defensively than the Red Sox. Our WB Mason delivery of the game is team defense. They've been doing it all year. And tonight, they make it 15 straight games without an error. That ties an American League record. That record turned in by the Texas Rangers some 10 years ago. They will take the field tomorrow going for the Major League record set by the St. Louis Cardinals back in 1992. They haven't committed an error since Kevin Youkilis back on June 11th. That doubleheader, it was Game 1. So the glove has been as good as it's ever been for the Boston Red Sox or anyone, because they've been outstanding. No errors now in 15 straight games. We'll hear from Terry Francona when we come back. Red Sox scored 19 runs in the first 2 games against the Mets. They go for the sweep. Schilling against Glavine tomorrow night.
Why do we always take your car? What can I tell you? It's a Mercury Milan. The secret's out. Milan can get you out of that Accord or Camry routine. With its sleek lines and sharp interior, it doesn't look like anything else. Up to 32 miles per gallon isn't too bad either. Hey, can I drive? Maybe next time. And now you can lease Milan for just $219 a month. See your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
So, Mr. Chan, you want to make a sequel with my client Diet Pepsi? Lots of action, lots of stunt. As always, we're going to need a stunt double. No problem. We got company. Stunt double. Action. See ya. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
In light of current gas prices, you might see this as the glass half empty. Not surprisingly, Honda drivers tend to see it as the glass half full. Honda, the most fuel-efficient auto company in America. Lease an Accord for $239 a month for well-qualified customers.
Enjoy the refreshing pick-me-up of a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee and pack a ton of stuff for your uncle's beach house. America runs on Dunkin'. Stop by Dunkin' Donuts today and try one of 9 delicious coffee flavors.
I want to remind you, every Tuesday you can ask a question as part of our BMW of Peabody Executive Mailbag as Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report. Go to NESN.com, click on the pregame link, and submit your question. A Red Sox executive will answer those questions every week. What does Red Sox Nation want to know about? Let us know by logging on to NESN.com. Well, the Red Sox now have won 14 of their last 16 games at Fenway Park, and on the season are 26-10 at home. That's the 3rd best record at home of any team in baseball, and the best home Red Sox record this point of the season in over 20 years. So it is all going good for Terry Francona's team right now as they make it 11 straight wins, their longest winning streak since 1995. Let's go back to the clubhouse and hear from the manager. Terry's Take with Tina Cervasio.
Thank you, Terry. So much was made of Pedro's return tonight, but it was Josh Beckett who pitched to Gem. Why was he so dominating again?
Well, he got in a lot of pitchers' counts. He pitched ahead,
good fastball mixed in his off speed. And again, when you have that kind of velocity and that kind of stuff, when you pitch ahead, puts hitters on the defensive. Did a very good job.
The Red Sox are on an 11-game win streak, averaging 7.9 runs per game. What's that say about the ball club right now?
Well, we're doing a lot of things right. We've taken advantage of some mistakes. We've got 2-out hits. We've got a lot of hits some nights. It's been a lot of different things, and I think that's what good teams do, and we've played good defense the whole way through.
Kurt Schilling draws another great pitching matchup. Tomorrow it's Tom Glavine. He thrives on these things. What do you think about the pitching matchup tomorrow?
It'll be a good one. Hopefully it won't be a good one and it'll be in our favor, but Glavine's been good for a long time, and he's had a real resurgence, and he's one of the best guys there is. So we'll have to be on top of our game, but again, we're playing good baseball right now, and we like our guy a lot too.
All right, Terry, thank you. Tom, now back to you.
Tina, thanks very much. It was all about Pedro, at least at the start tonight. For the first 3 innings, it was all about Pedro Martinez. But that's all he could do tonight. Giving up 8 runs, 6 of them earned. A nice ovation for Petey as he goes back to Fenway. Jack Welch was there. He's back here with us in studio now. And what was that ovation like tonight?
It wasn't the same as it was last night.
Right.
I was there last night. I think tonight he was part of the enemy, but he got the respect he deserved for being a great contributor to Boston. But it was nothing like that thing that came last night.
Last night was the outpouring.
When he came out of the dugout,
and
everyone just spontaneously jumped out.
we want to go back to the Welchometer. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it yet, but
neither do I.
Jerry Remy's all excited about it, so you know that's
anything he likes, I like.
The Rem Dog's on board now. You were sort of in the middle on what the reaction to Pedro would be, but the fans' reaction was probably spot on, as it usually is for the Red Sox. Give him the love last night. Go beat his butt tonight.
That's about where I think it came out. Although they were very respectful tonight. There was nothing. I thought the Mets did a nice job of not having him go out again and then pulling him back.
Yeah,
I mean,
God
letting him
forbid.
sit in the dugout.
Yeah, he had 75 pitches, and God forbid, you don't want to stick him out there in the 4th inning, and then he couldn't get out of it, and you'd have to yank him out of your way.
Because they were starting to yell, Pedro, Pedro. You didn't want to have that scene.
Yeah, it could have gone the other way. That meter could have gone down real fast.
Could have gone.
And you were bringing up the point that, we were talking, you almost feel sad because he wasn't the Pedro we remember, at least tonight. And I think there was a lot of that feeling in the crowd tonight as well.
Yeah, I think, and me, I mean, I'm a fan, I'm a Red Sox fan, whatever, and I watch him pitch, and I'm looking for a big game. Sure, you want the Red Sox to win, but I want it to be good. I want it to be exciting all night. And then you sit down, and it's 4-0, and the way he was throwing, it was kind of like, I felt bad. I really did. Yeah, I don't want to see Pedro get lit up. I mean, did he get lit up? No, but he didn't throw very good.
Did he have any pitches over 90?
I think we saw one back here. I mean, that says everything you need. If he's not if his fastball's 88, he's going to get hit.
Right. Sloppy changeup, sloppy breaker balls. Unlike Pedro, that's not Pedro.
I was hoping, frankly, for a much closer game.
Yeah.
I was in there for a big night.
2-1 Beckett win.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what we all
That would've
wanted,
been
right? A
perfect.
couple of complete games. All right, now we got our new feature here. You don't know Jack, and Jack knows a thing or two about what it's like to be a Red Sox fan. You've been one all your life.
All my life.
And you know a thing or two about business. We don't have to show your credentials there. So the question about the Pedro deal, which all came up again yesterday when he talked about it at the press conference, saying he paid the price for saying he wanted to stay in Boston and the team used it against him. Was it still a good business deal to not sign Pedro for 4 years?
Look, tonight, a comment that I would make sounds like a genius, but I've been wrong. At the beginning of the season, you wouldn't remember, but when I was on, I was worried about up the middle. Loretta was hitting 210, Gonzalez was hitting 186, and I'm saying, how are we ever going to get anywhere? So that was my baseball knowledge. Now these two guys are hitting over 400. So now I come to Pedro. I thought that was a great deal when they made it. Paid 4 years on Pedro. He's getting older, he's a smaller guy, and he was a great pitcher. I thought they made a smart business deal. That's not because of tonight. I thought that a year and a half ago. I've been wrong plenty of times before.
Yeah, and then he made a smart deal because he not only did he get the 4 years, he went to the National League. Yeah. Now, how do you like this National League so far?
It sure makes me question the Arroyo story. I mean, I'm not sure I know enough about Arroyo, but Arroyo wasn't that good here. He was a good, solid pitcher. But to go over there and light the place up, it makes you wonder about this National League, that ninth batter.
I don't know that I've ever seen as much of a discrepancy. We're talking about it almost every night.
I mean, 12-1. I mean, that's phenomenal. It's unheard of. And and even Arroyo will admit that it's an easier league over there. He better be careful because it could turn
He's
around.
feeling pretty good about himself right now over there.
Don't get gay now. He turns on you in a heartbeat.
But it's never been. I mean, you even look at the Mets number and you wonder if their record is inflated because they're playing all these bad teams. Which brings us back to, I haven't liked interleague play. I haven't liked it from the start. I think 18 games is too many. I'd rather see the White Sox more and the A's more and the Indians more. Except maybe this year, I'd like to see the National League nonstop for the rest of the year because they're playing so well. What do you think about interleague play?
I'm not sure whether it's too much or too little, but I like it. I like seeing the Mets. I like playing Atlanta in a good year when Atlanta's doing well. But Atlanta's had 14 great years, and then now this year it was a dog series. But I mean, generally speaking, I'd like to see the Red Sox head-to-head with Atlanta. I'd like to see them play in St. Louis. I'd like to see them play in the Mets.
I've come around to it to the point where I once thought they should get rid of it completely. Now I think that it's got a place. I just think it's too much right now. We're spending almost this whole month against the National League.
And when I played, I didn't like it because I don't want to see. First of all, I don't like to see the pitcher hit anyway. I don't want to hit as a pitcher. I mean, if you don't hit all the time, you don't want to hit. You don't want to get hurt. And our teams are built. The American League's built for the American League. It's not built for the National League. The National League has a better bench. I think Beckett was even talking about it. There's certain guys that do certain jobs on the bench, but offensively they're not the same.
And we're going to get out of Florida the weekend, and Poppy will either sit or play first base. Although he's a better first baseman.
He's playing pretty good first
right.
base.
Yeah, he does all right. Jack Welch with us here in the studio. We're going to take a break, come back. Red Sox win big again. The Bats carry the day. They're hitting the lights out at Fenway, but the lights are still on right now. 10-2 the final.
LaFleur knows it, and he's right on top of him. There's a three-pointer. No good. Rebound. Comes down to Hendricks. Oh, he fought the ball away somehow. He throws up a three. No good. Rebound, Gabriel. Hendricks wide open for three. No good. Time running out. Northeastern wins.
The Boston Globe Sports Plus.
I love to tackle the tough topics. You're in dreamland with that one. And so do the Boston Globe sports writers.
No more, no less.
He's cheating, and he's going to pass Babe Ruth.
That is baseball.
Yakety yak, yak, yak.
The Boston Globe Sports Plus combines New England Sports Page with New England Sports Network.
The hottest topic.
Is he all finished? This guy isn't playing possum.
It is the Boston Globe Sports Plus.
Wednesday and Friday nights on Nesson.
It's bold. It's clean. It's fresh. It's smooth. There's only one. Bar Harbor Real Ale.
You may not know us yet, but when you do, you'll find we pay special attention to what's important to our customers. Now, with our investment in TD Ameritrade and TD Bank North, we're TD Bank Financial Group, bringing 150 years of paying serious attention to what counts. You. TD Bank Financial Group of Companies.
All right, just a reminder, the league might be off for a few days in July for the All-Star break, but Nesson has your Sox action as always. On July 11th, we're airing the best Red Sox games from the first half of the season, but which ones are the best? We want you to decide, so log on to Nesson.com, click on the logo, and vote for the games you want to see again on June 11th in Nesson's Red Sox in 2 All-Star Marathon. All right, one more game to go in the homestand. Red Sox going to try to match that 12-game winning streak from back in 1995, and they have Kurt Schilling on the mound against Tom Glavine. Bill Ricca's own back with an 11-win start. Good pitching matchup tomorrow. However, there is other news to talk about in the sports world. The NBA draft tonight, along with other big games in Major League Baseball. Hazel May is on the clock with a Sports Desk update from Studio B.
Hey, TC, thank you. Hi, everybody. The Boston Celtics were making news even before NBA Commissioner David Stern made his way to the podium at this year's draft. The C's acquired second-year point guard Sebastian Telfair and center Theo Ratliff in a trade from the Portland Blazers in return for their 7th-round pick, Rafe LaFrentz and Dan Dickau. Telfair was the number 13 pick for Portland in the 2004 draft out of Lincoln High in New York. In his 2 seasons with the Blazers, the point guard averaged a combined combined 8.1 points and 3.5 assists. The Seas had been in pursuit of a natural point and believe Telfair is better suited for their system right now than the choices that were out there in the draft. The Bruins have called a news conference for Thursday afternoon. It's expected this man. Bees will officially announce former Red Wings coach Dave Lewis as Mike Sullivan's successor behind the bench. Nesson will have live coverage of that announcement for you Thursday, beginning at 1 p.m. Back to the Diamond, Braves and Yankees. John Smoltz looking for his first win since May 22nd. He's had a rough go at it last couple of months. This won't help. Bottom 8, 2-1 Braves. And Jason Giambi, big pipes, towering shot to deep right. That was a fastball, so he was out of there in a hurry. We're tied at 2 apiece. Bottom 12, 3-2 Braves, man on for this man.
And the 3-1. High drive, left field. Going back, Langerhans looking up. See ya! Alex Rodriguez comes through. A walk-off, 2-run home run for the beleaguered Yankee third baseman.
That's right, he's the anti-Big Papi. Not the most clutch hitter in the baseball, but that'll work. Walk-off home run, number 16 on the season for him. His 100th as a pinstriper. New York goes on to win it 4-2. We have more coming up tonight on Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, distributor of plumbing and heating supplies since 1866. I will see you at the top of the hour. Now back to our post-game show and Tom Karen, TC.
All right, Hazel, thanks very much. Red Sox win. They beat Pedro Martinez, and they get the offense going early. Kevin Youkilis started it again. How often have we said that this year? Got a hit, scored a run in the first inning, 1 of 4. After the game, Kevin Youkilis spoke with Tita Servasio.
Tom, thank you. Kevin Youkilis joins me. Kevin, you faced him first. What was it with Pedro tonight?
He just, it's always fun just to get Pedro. He's a great guy. He was a great teammate to me. He was great. He was unbelievable. He was a great. For me just to get up there and face him, I was just excited just for the fact that he was just an unbelievable guy, and it was great just to get up there and get a hit off him because he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time, and something I can tell my kids someday, hopefully.
On the flip side, Josh Beckett, how on top of his game was he?
He threw the ball well. Getting that 4-run lead was huge, so he can go back and just relax and go up there and just pitch his game. Josh is a great power pitcher that can go out there and dominate a game, and he threw the ball well and kept his pitch count down until Carlos Beltran had about a 20-pitch at bat, it seemed like. So for Josh to go out there and throw strikes and throw his changeup and curveball effectively, that was huge for him.
And then tomorrow, another great pitching matchup. You have to face Tom Glavine. Kurt's going out there for the Red Sox. What do you think of that?
Those are two veterans that are very polished pitchers, and their numbers speak for themselves. So for tomorrow night, it's going to be fun just to go out there and face another great pitcher of the game that's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Hopefully Shill will be a Hall of Famer too someday. But it's just great just to go out there and have these great matchups each night.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. Tom, back to you.
Tina, thank you. They say pitching and defense wins championships, but hitting the ball at a 357 clip doesn't hurt. That's what they've done over the 8 games of the homestand so far. Look at some of these numbers over the 11-game winning streak. Youkilis at 313. The stunning thing there is that's below his season average of 318. Loretta's over 400. Gonzalez, Cora both over 400. Nixon at 389. Manny at 350. The stunning thing is they're doing it with Big Papi not really hitting for average, but they are up and down this lineup as we're back with Eck and Jack Welch. This whole team is bashing the ball right now.
After all the teams that you've seen over the years, offensively, even the last couple of years, I don't think the Red Sox are even. Did you think that this offense was going to be like this?
No.
Come on.
No, would you think at first, second, and third you would be getting that hitting?
Right.
And Trot Nixon. Trot Nixon's 5th in the league in hitting right now.
And a very smart time to be doing it. Contract year.
Again, the businessman speaks up here.
A very smart moment.
They are outscoring their opponents 87-38 over this stretch. And again, we'll see when they get back to the American League if a lot of this is the National League. But what we keep waiting for is the top-notch pitching to step up. We thought tonight would be the start of it. They've got Glavine tomorrow. They've got Dontrell Willis Friday. If we're still talking like this come Saturday morning, there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Well, Florida has a lot more than just Willis, too. They've got themselves some real pitchers down there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over this next 5-game stretch. Don't forget, we were in Minnesota for 3 days.
That's right. This all began with a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Twins, who, by the way, are 15-2 over their last 17.
They're really good.
Right. I mean, before the All-Star break is going to, if they can get to the All-Star break with just a little bigger lead, because the Yankees are in trouble too. So just a little bigger lead, and we're going to be talking about that long stretch that's going to come up.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Late in August or whatever it is, like
late
21
August
games
into September. 21 days without a day off, 22 games in that stretch. Starts with 5 against the Yankees. They go out west for Oakland and Anaheim. They come back with Toronto and the Chicago White Sox. That's your make or break stretch.
Exactly.
You got to have a nice cushion before that starts.
Well, the last time I was here, X said there's a good
did.
chance they're going to be pulling away.
But I could say that because players don't say that. But I could say that.
But you did call that, and I still think it'll come back and start to compress. The Yankees just won't let this happen.
Well, they're going to make a big move. There's
it's
no
in my
question.
blood.
It wouldn't be fun without
No,
it
I'm a Red Sox fan to my death, but it has to be close.
All right, so if we did the Welcho meter on you right now, it's got to be pretty high right now. You're feeling pretty good about this team.
Oh, I love this team right now. Who wouldn't?
That's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful thing.
In fact, there's nothing to criticize about this team
There
right
really
now.
isn't.
Nothing.
Well, it's a long season.
We'll see
It's
in a
not
couple
the
weeks what
All-Star break.
happens.
All right, Jack Welch with us. Once again, thanks for coming in, Jack.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Jack Welch with us here, and this says it all. A look of bewilderment on the face of Pedro Martinez. He didn't know what happened. We will hear from Pedro coming up.
Catch your socks round the clock with Socks in 2, presented by T&K Asphalt Services. Tune in game nights at midnight and the next afternoon for 2-hour game replays. Nesson keeps your socks on with Socks in 2.
The 0-2 pitch to Kinsler. Hey, struck him out. The Red Sox win. Papelbon strikes out the side in the ninth.
One nation, one network. Tomorrow night, it's Sox Mets at 6 on Nesson.